Hey everyone! Whoop. Yep, my model's doing its thing again. I have, well, in this instance it might be because I have a video uploading on YouTube at the same time we're streaming, so it's eating a lot of bandwidth, but that's the best I can do. Right, how did I not realize that was How to Train Your Dragon? I mean, I was doing it from the anagram, so that's probably how. And yeah, let me move chat up just a little bit. That should be good. Alright, well, I guess I'm stuck at this awkward angle for a little bit, unless... you know what I could do? Do I have...
You're frozen again, I just noticed that.
Yeah, no, I'm stuck. So... Again, that might be because I am trying to upload the VOD from last stream at the same time we're doing this, because, technically speaking, I've had it uploading since yesterday. But, it's not done yet, because it's really fucking long, and when this goes into sleep mode... Yeah, I don't know why this is happening, this freezing stuff. It's becoming a real problem that I'm gonna have to work around. And I'm gonna have to, like, do some research into what is causing this mess. Although it looks like my my PC needs to install updates, so maybe it's an update thing? With just my computer in general? I don't know. Okay, so... Alright, I'm back. Okay. Hey, streamy people. Draco Magnius here once again with Chocolate Zombie 101 and Daluna 13 as we go back to the Revelian Dynasty. What will our nobles have in store for our king? You'll have to find out now. Feel free to join everybody. Type in !join into the Twitch chat. And your preferred pronouns, of course. Maybe I will change the size of that while we're getting everybody in. Where did I do that? It was here. Did I not? Okay, there it goes. It was being slow. Where is it again? Widgets? Okay, so I have it set to 50.
It's a little big.
Yeah, I made it bigger when I was doing some setup for the Curse of Strahd campaign, just so I could see chat better and test it, but I think it's a bit over what it needs to be at. Okay.
Yeah, Odyssey still got quite a bit to go, right? Because you guys are in the in-game now.
Yes, in the very last parts. They have to beat 4 Nether Titans and then something else. Well, at this point, it's kind of clear that Lytheria, the Lady of Death, is involved, so we have that. And whatever she's cooking up in the backgrounds after they fight the Kraken, the Behemoth, the Nether Dragon, and the Tarask.
Oh boy, that Tarask fight's gonna be fun. I don't even know if they're... What level are they?
Right now, I think they're at 17. They also...
So they're not terrible.
Yeah, they also have some dragon friends, which will make this easier. Alright, but I think we're good to properly get in. So, without further ado, let us begin. Oh, that's right. We ended at the very end of a season, so all I have to do is hit that end scene button. Or end season button, rather. Alright, let's see. I've got stop the count. The timer is set to 15 seconds, and the vote will automatically close once the timer is over. I forgot. Did I grab that, or did they give me that just by default? And what is my goal again? Authority? I think? No, I have to raise faith. That's right. Well, you know what? The Royal Gamble's pretty good. But... oh wait, no, I see. These are the ones I could adopt. And these are the ones I have. This one's stability for more than 50%. Nobles vote for any option. That's very tempting with our stability as low as it is. But what would I get rid of? Veto is too good. The Monarch's Iron Choice is also really good. I think I'd be handicapping myself. And the Golden Choice, bribery is always useful. I think I'm going to cancel as much as I'd like to get the call for Unity. I think I'm going to have to just end with those. Oh no. What a terrible night for a curse. Grandy the Bubba Lubba Ding Dong rushes into the council chambers, breathlessly and in disarray. Who is reading for Bubba? Oh, well, first Chaco. Chaco? Did we lose him?
Oh, yep. By the blood of the dead, you look like you haven't slept for weeks.
I'll read for Bubba, I guess.
Okay.
That's because I've been placed under a curse. My hair's falling out in chunks.
Oh my god. Bubba, you're cursed. By the ninth god, get away from me!
It was one of my peasants. I saw it in her eyes. She's an evil witch!
Alright, Council, what do we do? Do we go with A, have the so-called witch tested? It has a 60% chance of success because of our faith being where it is. B, we could send scholars to the Southern Lands to find an explanation, but unfortunately that has a 10% chance of success. Or last, certainly not least, we could have the accursed Bubba Lubba Ding Dong sent to the east just to relax for a bit. This will raise and lower some wealth and increase trade.
Before you open the portal, I have to say this. Burn the witch!
Well, she turned me into a newt. Felt better.
Well, for us, I say A. It's the highest possible chance, and, you know...
True.
I don't really need trade lowered right now.
I also...
I'm gonna say A because, unlike in actual, in real life, we've determined in this world, witches exist.
True. As do wizards, and they're horrible.
Wizards are assholes.
Oh, Chaco, you might need to vote again, because I think you put it in before I opened the polling. Although it seems to be we're unanimous.
That's what I love about this. Witches exist, and wizards exist too, and wizards are just notorious assholes.
There we go.
You arrange for a priestess of the ninth god to question the accused. The church does not look kindly upon witches, particularly if they're cursing nobles for no reason. Yeah, if you're going to curse a noble, you should have a reason for it. After several days of questioning and burning of incense, the priestess makes her announcement. The accused is innocent. Things settle down, and the Bubba Lubba Ding Dong eventually admits that some new pomade may be to blame for their hair troubles. But you gotta be careful with those pomades, man. Don't mind me casually ignoring the angry mob. What's this about a missing noble?
Welcome in.
Greetings and salutations, everybody.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm doing well.
So,
What I missed?
we're playing King of the Castle. You're playing as nobles that are trying to overthrow me, or in this case, overthrow King Roger of the Revelian Dynasty. Whenever he talks, I basically give him Heckna's voice. If you want to join in properly, if you go to my channel and type in chat join in your preferred pronouns, you'll be randomly assigned a noble and a house, or a country rather, to be part of. You guys look kind of small. Let me fix this. There we go. That's better. Alright. In the capital, the solar eclipse does little except make the day a little gray. My, how timely. But the east is a different story. Count
Hey, Bubba.
the stock. Who would like to voice the dock? Sorry, Doc
I
the
got
second.
it. Your Majesty, the moment the sun went dark, Lady Patrician Tarine Trashman entered the shadow portal and vanished.
My goodness.
I'm not sure what she expected would happen, but I warned the council of her ineptitude.
Alright, and before we move on, let's see. Zell, you are part of the Counts. They are very gothic, as you can clearly tell.
Ooh.
Your current goal is to try and lower the trade in all of the countries. And are you on mobile or...
I'm on my phone.
Okay, so I don't think you can check your stuff, but you have like a certain pool of wealth that you can use for stuff later in the game. There's a little plug-in for people on PC that they can click. I don't know if it works on mobile.
Doesn't look like it.
Dang. I can also just go into the noble list. You have 1,000 gold to start since you just joined. But let us continue. Chaco? You were reading, right?
Yeah, Chocolate was reading for her.
Chaco, you there?
I'm not sure what
Oh.
she...
Shit. I guess I accidentally hit the button to move forward. I don't know what happened there.
It's alright, it could... Maybe it timed out.
Or maybe there was like a little skip button that they've added, because like that just seemed to skip a lot of nonsense. But so Lady Patrician, Tarine Trashman, how should she retrieve from the portal? Do we send a reliable adventurer to rescue her? This will take 1,200 from the treasury of the kingdom. B, do we send in coastal troops? That is a 5% chance of success because our military in all of the countries is poor right now. Or C, do we just wait and see if she comes out on her own? It's a coin flip for that one. I'm sure it's fine. You know, you walk through a mysterious portal, people come back from that, right?
Hey, if she doesn't come back, I mean... Yeah.
She made her choice. She's the one that walked through the portal willingly. Alright, so Zell,
I'll be back.
to
I'm gonna say C because I like the stupid choice.
it is pretty funny.
For me, it's either A or C.
Who's my partner?
Oh, you are with Chaco. Also,
Yeah.
for voting, you type in exclamation point vote and the letter that you're voting for, whichever option you like. There is a timer, but as the king, I can choose when I put it forward or not. So, since it was your first one, I'll give you a chance to look at the options and properly vote.
Which one we going for, Chaco?
I was thinking about A, but C is probably the easier chance. Plus, even if it was you and me, it'd still be a tiebreaker. So,
Alright. The voting has closed, and it seems unanimous. We're just gonna wait and see how this turns out. The American solution. Kick that can down the road. The portal shimmered.
I'll be right back. I gotta do something real quick.
Alright. The portal shimmers.
I'll be right back.
The portal shimmers dormant in the air for 3 days before Taurine Trashman emerges, dazed, but in perfect physical health. Who shall read for Lady Taurine?
I. Beings of air, not voices. Ideas. Wanted. Forever. Look. 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 Look!
I'm looking, jeez. She passes a hand over the floor, and jewels erupt from the flagstones, cracking them open like a glittering earthquake. Soon the ground is awash with priceless crystals. She swoons to the ground as more jewels emerge. After sleeping for 4 days straight, she awakes once more, having lost her new ability and much of her memory. Still, the crystals remain. The Lady Patrician Taurine Trashman becomes known as an eccentric of sorts, walking only with arms extended, palms facing the ground. The patricians prosper. The patricians have a wealth increase, and their trade has gone from struggling to level 3. Their defiance has now gone down to a grumble. Alright, so what's this about an angry mob? One morning you wake to make your way to the council hall. As a mob of furious peasants surround your carriage, they pelt the windows with rotten fruit and loudly blame you for everything wrong with the kingdom. Down with the king! I'm just gonna let the soldiers sort this out. Seems like the best plan, honestly. The soldiers have difficulties, however. Protect the king! Protect the... His words are cut off as he's dragged from his horse and beaten into a fine pace.
Jesus Christ.
The growing mob surrounds your stagecoach and begins rocking it back and forth. Your Majesty, make a break for it before they tip the carriage over. We'll stay and hold them off. The Sisterhood of Steel draw their scimitars and form a ring around you, sheltering you as you scuttle to safety. Stones rain down like hail, but you make it back to the palace unharmed. Let's call a meeting. Daluna?
This is an outrage. Your Serene Highness. First riots, now looting in the capital. Now attacks upon your royal person.
Our realm is on the verge of collapse. People are afraid. The rule of law has broken down. The peasants are deeming higher wages and more rights.
But we obviously can't allow that. What should we do?
Well, Council, it's time for a vote. What do we do? Do we declare martial law? This will raise stability, but lower trade and raise defiance. We could just round up the rioters and hang them. That is a 100% chance of success because I have 10 in authority. Or, let's give them everything they want. It'll raise defiance, lower treasury, lower my authority, and raise stability. And now, normally I wouldn't go with this option, but here's 500 gold if we go with B. I mean, it's the guaranteed success. Why would we not choose B? And it seems like an honest Heckna thing to do. People are not listening to me? They're wanting more rights? No. Let's hang them.
Sometimes you've got to put the hammer down.
Alright. Well then, it looks like we need a deciding vote. Yep.
I mean, I'm a capitalist.
Yeah, that seems like the capitalist answer, honestly. Well, time to round up all these rioters and hang them. That should teach them. Our military went worse, though. Your soldiers face heavy resistance from the rioters, and hundreds of your troops are killed. Others desert to avoid fighting their own fellow citizens. Fair, honestly. But the result is inevitable. Hundreds of peasants' corpses hang from the giblets, left to rot along the King's Road as a dire warning. The riots died down. The common folk are terrified. But there are fewer peasants to work the field. Farming has gone down for everyone, but hey, our stability is up and our authority is as high as it could possibly go. Never raise arms against your king. Well, another successful season for King Roger. Alright, we have... The counts are almost completely done with theirs, as are the patricians. The patricians need to lower trade a bit more, and... Oh, no, wait. They need to raise their trade to 5. Meanwhile, the counts have to lower trade. So the counts and the patricians are actively against each other. Let's see what we got. Ambition, sainthood, blistering heat, or undercutting. Let's go with my sainthood. See how that's going. I've sent my priests to investigate any potential miracles and send word once they find something. Hopefully we hear back soon. Let's wait for a miracle. It's a coin flip again. Ah! After a few weeks, the Archbishop returns with an immensely sour expression. Little of note has happened to suggest anything miraculous, Your Majesty. Worse, the people are drifting away from church services. We must bring the lost sheep back to our flock. With a faithful kingdom, there's little to be done. Alright, so I need to raise faith a little bit more. I need anything that will raise faith. But in the meanwhile, let's see what's going on with the blistering heat at the coast. Daluna?
Your Serene Highness, unfortunate tidings. Summer has been exceedingly hot this year, and our citizens have been dying from heat. The harvest will be poor, as you can imagine.
Is there something I can do?
Perhaps, if your esteemed Highness and the Council are willing.
Alright, Council, what do we do? Do we A, force peasants to work through the summer? This will raise defiance, raise authority, but lower our stability. B, do we encourage regional immigration to supplement the labor market? This will lower defiance, lower stability, and lower trade. Or C, do we mandate midday siestas? Lowers defiance, lowers farming, lowers trade, but will raise stability. I'm just gonna let this ride and see what y'all think.
Look, I am all, I maybe we're being the capitalist, but I will give the argument that a midday nap is amazing.
Yeah,
It's fair.
I'm all for it.
It's not the capitalist way, but damn it, I like kingdom-mandated nap time.
Also, I'm from Texas. Between the hours of noon and 5, you don't do anything outside. That's just a thing that you just know.
That's weird. I just decided to look at the nobles. It seems the counts have gotten all the people. Damn. But voting is closed and it's unanimous. We will have nap time.
I mean, I imagine it gets pretty hot there in Texas in the summertime, so you kind of have to, like, have breaks during the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, like my whenever my dad does stuff around the property, he does everything in the morning, and literally he's like from noon to about 4 when I start getting ready to cook dinner. All I'm doing is watching Netflix.
And I agree, Satina. The counts are also my favorites, but don't tell the other countries I said that. You implement special measures in the coast to account for the hostile climate. The peasantry are grateful, and in turn, so are the patricians. Though productivity dips, your benevolence is marked throughout the land. And what's this about undercutting? Daluna?
I wanted to speak to you again today about a delicate matter, Your Majesty. It concerns the silver trade.
You might have to explain a little bit further.
Well, the vast and empty East has always been known for its silver. If you've seen literally any count, you know what I mean.
I mean, I think they wear mostly golds and velvets, but I get your point.
but the Grandies have been also a real taste for the stuff. Unfortunately, they don't have natural reservoir, so they always go look to buying it from other counts. Most of it goes into the holy chalices and ornamental swords and other such finery.
Right, of course.
Additionally, my Pacificans have facilitated this trade, making sure it's a fair deal and reached on both sides. Yet now the Grandies buy from the counts directly.
Ah, they've cut out the middleman, as it were.
They're cutting us out of the deal. You can't let them get away with this.
I mean, that just sounds like clever business to me.
Your Highness, please! Just call for a vote, would you?
Oh, I suppose that's fair enough. Very well, then.
My eternal thanks, Your August Majesty.
Alright, Council, what are we going to do about this silver trade nonsense? Do we A, force the Grandies to continue buying silver through the patricians? This will raise and lower defiance and trade and will raise the wealth of the patricians. B, do we allow the free market to sort this one out? The Andrew Ryan experience, if you will. Defiance goes up and down, trade goes up and down, wealth will go down for the patricians. C, do we bring the silver trade under the authority of the king rather than the patricians? This will raise my authority, raise defiance, lower trade, lower wealth, but increase the treasury. I do like that option. Or D, do we just ban silver altogether? No one can have it anymore. It's too much of a hassle. Authority goes up, wealth goes down, defiance goes up, trade goes down.
You know what? As much as I love the patricians, I think this is one situation where capitalism can't be trusted.
Fair. I will bribe everyone to pick C, but of course the decision is entirely up to you.
Well, I need trade to go up, so obviously...
A would, yeah. Bring it up. Alright. So far it's looking like C is going to win unless another person votes against. Well, 3-1. It looks as though it's coming to me. The king, the government, will regulate the silver trade. It's what's fair. Daluna? Daluna?
This doesn't help at all, Your Majesty! You're just cutting us out!
Helps me. I'll read first, Atina. I'd rather have the king monitor our trade than have your slimy mitts all over it again. All you ever did was skim off our profits.
Why, you ungrateful rabbibat! Ow! Ow!
You have your honor guard step in before anything gets too rowdy. Lord Patrician Daluna 13 II backs down without a fight.
Fine. We will remember this.
The patricians suffer as a result of the council's decision. The counts, too, will have to pay more than they had been. But you make a good profit, and in the end, isn't that what's important here? That the king makes a profit?
That is a very Heckna move, honestly.
It really is. I'm getting very in character. Oh yeah, I love your outfit that you have, Satina.
Look, I don't care if it messes with your life. It makes me a lot easier. It makes me a lot more money. It makes my life a lot easier. I'm gonna go with that.
Trade is unfortunately down for the patricians. They've lost some wealth. The counts have lost some wealth, and their trade has gone down. But the treasury is up, up, up. Now might be the time to invest. But hey, it's time to start an auction, everyone. Before I hit the button, just a reminder of the rules. Hit !fun. Hit your code for which one you want, A, B, C, D, E, F, and then the amount you are going to be putting forward. Our options today are the stadium, which is military going down, but everyone's military is so bad, I don't understand why anyone would vote for that. The Thieves Guild brings trade down. The Cathedral would bring up faith, and I would very much appreciate it if you would help me build the faith, is all I'm saying. I mean, I might be persuaded to give you some money when it comes tax season, just saying. The Theater will lower authority. The trade will go up for the patricians if they vote for E, and the Observatory will lower faith, so obviously we don't want that. Daluna, you might need to put yours in now, because I hadn't started the funding yet, so...
Yeah, I accidentally jumped the gun a little too much.
Yeah.
But...
There we go. Alright, we have 2,000 in the Grand
Eat
Bazaar.
that, poor people.
2,000 going into the Bazaar. Does anyone want to put anything in anything else? We can fund 2 different buildings. We just need you to start funding other stuff. There's 36 seconds to go. And again, I'd really appreciate it if you all funded the Cathedral. I could really give you some coin from the treasury is all I'm saying. And we have the Bubble of a Ding Dong giving 2,000 to the Cathedral. Up 1,000 going to lowering trade for the Counts. An interesting move by Chaco, one of the Counts. Interesting. Very interesting. But if no more money can be pumped into the Thieves Guild, it looks like we're going to have a brand new cathedral for the Grandees and a grand bazaar for the patricians. Time is up. And it looks like we're getting that fancy cathedral and a grand bazaar, both incredibly helpful to the people's countries of origin. Let's see, we've got the Gossamer Shield, a Plague of Rats, and Sanctuary. Immediately, I'm thinking Kingdom Hearts, so let's go Sanctuary. Who was reading for Bubba again?
Your Holiness, the problem of the capital, or cathedral that was previously built in the south.
Wait, you can't see the... Oh, I see why. Because, Zell left, so their images got bigger. Whoopsie daisy. There we go. Now it should be better. Sorry about that, everyone.
A dangerous outlaw by the name of Hookhand McAllister was fleeing the city watch after a decade-long crime spree. We were finally on the verge of catching him.
Ah, cursed Hookhand McAllister. I'm quite familiar.
But just before he was caught, he drives into the cathedral and proclaims sanctuary. According to the law, we can't arrest him on holy ground. The audacity of Hookhand McAllister to invoke holiness!
How did he get that nickname?
By all that is holy, you're holy. Do I have to spell it out? He has a hook for a head. Where his head should be, there's a hook! Hook hand!
That does make sense. I was more referring to the McAllister part, but yes, of course.
Look, that's his last name. His first name's Kevin.
Ah.
Man, I'm sure he'd be a great clown if we ended up in a carnival.
That's a good point. That would be a very good clown. If only there was a circus in town. Shifty eyes. I'm sure the church will look the other way in this case, right? We absolutely will not. The law of sanctuary is almost as old as the kingdom itself. As long as he remains on holy ground, this McAllister is a child of the Ninth under the protection of his mercy. I will not allow you to violate that, no matter the nature of this man's crimes.
By the Ninth, right now, Hookhand McAllister is living the high life. Priests are feeding him roast dinners and fluffing his pillows.
Well, I don't know about that second part, but definitely the first part, I imagine. Alright, Council, what shall we do? A. Sanctuary is a sacred tradition and must not be questioned. This will raise faith, raise defiance, and lower authority. Ugh, I don't like that. Do we repeal the law of sanctuary? This will lower defiance, lower faith, raise authority, and lower stability. I don't like that one either. Or C, do we allow sanctuary to be broken this time, so Hookhand McAllister can be brought to justice? That has a coin flip of success. I like A. A is good. bribery. God, I love the golden choice. It's so good. But hey, you always can vote against what I'm bribing you for. Chaka doesn't like the law of... Satina also doesn't like the law of sanctuary. I mean, it makes sense for the counts. They're more into their own stuff. Bubba has, wants it just for this time. And so does Luna, so it falls on my shoulders as king to break this tie. Do we repeal the law of sanctuary, or do we just allow it this time? Well, I think we're just going to... just this once. Some people might argue a slippery slope, but I think just once is fine. We'll do it once, and then it's off the table forever again. Given certain circumstances. Fuck. We got tails. Oh no, is that gonna bring down Faith? Daluna.
Well, we don't have to worry about Heckna McAllister anymore.
Centuries of tradition thrown out the window, all for someone named Heckna McAllister. But I suppose it could be worse. Oh no, the one Faith we just got! However, the priests at the cathedral prove unwilling to allow sanctuary to be violated even once. They smuggle Heckna McAllister out in the dead of night and set him free. He takes up his life of crime once more. With renewed vigor, the kingdom quakes in the grip of Heckna McAllister's reign of terror and the jury-rigged traps he comes up with. Meanwhile, some nobles whisper that perhaps your reign is growing tiresome. Authority's gone down by one, and so has stability. Damn it. So what's this about a shield? Ah, Zell. I'll read for Zell. Your Highness, hear my plea. The great tragedy of our time has befallen the East. Demons hatched from the ground? Worse than even that, I fear. An order of once great knights has fallen into disrepute. It's the Order of the Gossamer Shield, Your Majesty. They were once the greatest knightly order to serve the counts. Their virtues were extolled by bards across the land, tales that would make a troll weep. But they've been brought low. They're working as glorified bounty hunters for the South. This is a stain on the honor of the East. Daluna?
Nonsense. Our military has suffered some setbacks recently. We've hired a Gossamer security to keep order for a pretty penny, I might add.
The military has gone up for the South, and their wealth has gone down a little bit.
Gossamer security has been solving problems that we want solved, and kicking the buttocks that we want kicked.
Satina, listen. Satania, excuse me. I need faith if I'm going to become a saint, so come on. Oh, right, me. Blood and Stars, Gossamer security? How has it come to this? These are knights, not mercenaries. And they need reminding of a little thing called chivalry. Please, Your Grace, I beg the Council to be reasonable. Alright, Council, what do? Do we recall the order to restore its courtly dignity? This will raise and lower defiance in the appropriate countries. Stability will go down again. We will have wealth going down and trade going down, so that's a bad one all the way around. I mean, I guess it's good for their dignity or whatever, but... I mean, how does that help me, right? B, do we invest in Gossamer security to help protect the South? This will lower the treasury. Defiance will go up and down, but trade goes up. And I can think of a few certain patricians that want that to happen. Do we... Oh, wait, actually, that would be for the Grandees, that trade going up, I believe.
Yeah, that doesn't help me.
No, that doesn't help you. C, do we hire the Order to join the Palace Watch? This will lower our treasury, but raise my authority back up to 10. I would like that. Or do we just ignore the situation? What's the worst that could happen? Kick that can down the road. Military will go up, defiance goes up, and authority goes down. What do I want to make the iron choice? You know what? I'm just gonna let this slide. See how the nobles respond. Feel free to vote, everyone. Of course, Chaco, one of the counts, wants to recall the order so that they can get back to their dignity. Bubba says we should just ignore the situation. But Satania says we should invest in Gossamer security to help protect the South. However, one of the patricians believes that they should recall the order to restore courtly dignity. Interesting. Well, no worries, Satania. It seems that A is going to be the one that wins. No worries. Alright, well, we're recalling them. Daluna?
By the knife! You haven't heard the last of this.
Unfortunately, with the Knights of the Gossamer Shield recalled to the east, the order breaks down in the south. Raiders hide out in the deserts, targeting trade caravans, leaving the Grandees no choice but to give their mercenaries a hefty hazard pay. Stability has gone down by 1, the Grandees have lost more of their wealth, and trade is now at struggling. Still, the Counts are pleased. Hopefully, the reputation of the Order will recover. This has brought their defiance from a 6 to a 4. Alright, and now we need to learn about the rats. Hopefully we can find the one that makes all the rules.
Rats, we are the rats.
Indeed. Countess Satania strides into the council chambers, distraught, waving a dead rat by its tail. The fields and... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I got this.
Oh, okay.
The fields and barns of the east are overrun by vermin, and we've no more poison for these horrible things. We can't cope anymore.
Well, Council, what do? Do we take that rat and go? The East can handle this alone. That is a 40% chance of success. Do we deliver a supply of rat poison? That is a 20% chance of success because our stability is so low. C. Do we send them a shipment of cats? That will lower the treasury, but cats are really good at taking down rats. Or D. Do we hire adventurers to clear out the rodents? That's a bit more expensive, but it lowers defiance. You know what? I do like cats. But feel free to vote however you see fit. I will get a point of authority.
I will say, you're giving people jobs.
That's true. C or D are my probably 2 favorite ones. But we could have a lot of cats. That's irrelevant, Bubba. Surely the cats will be fine on their own.
Yeah, but a cat problem sounds a lot cuter, Bubba.
Listen, there are some people that keep cats, or they keep rats as pets, but too many rats is a problem. Too many cats is adorable. Oh, okay, so there it goes. Well, it's an even split.
I'm going to argue that cats are adorable, and you should have them. I like cats. I have 2 of them myself.
That is true. And I did pick it
Above
as
game, like my property has, I feel like 6 cats.
Like, here's the thing. I've given myself a difficult situation, because on one hand, the adventurers do cost more, but it lowers defiance, which, like, would be better. However, cats are cats, and I get authority from the cats, and it's less expensive. I think I'm gonna go with the cats. And thus King Roger said, "Let there be kitties!" And there was. Countess Satania bows deeply to you deeply. Authority has now gone back up, and our treasury has gone down just a little bit. Draco?
I can't thank you enough, Your Highness.
You send a caravan of cats over to the east. By the time they reach their destination, they're both hungry and very angry. The perfect rat-catching mindset. Wait to hear what happens. 80% chance success. Soon the rats are gone, and most households in the East have a very satisfied cat guarding their food. You hope the kittens don't become a problem. What? Nah. Cats? Problematic? No. At least the dead...
I mean, the worst they'll do is meow at you all day.
Yeah. And, like, Bubba has mentioned, at least the dead birds aren't on his doorstep. They will give you maybe some dead animals on your doorsteps here and there, but that just shows that they love you. Graciously accept that dead animal gift and throw it in the trash when they're not looking. But it is finally tax season, and true to my word, I'm going to give the Grandies a little bit of a buff for services rendered. And we're in a pretty good position, so everyone can just get the normal tax otherwise. And cats in my castle, I don't know. Aww.
That sounds like a beautiful problem to have, honestly.
It does. What's going on the coast?
As long as you're not allergic to cats, you're fine.
See, we have the deceased, the knightly virtue, and we can try for sainthood again, but we're still in the same position, so let's see if I can build some faith somewhere. How about knightly virtue? Let's see how that's going. Daluna?
We were out paying the order of the Gossamer Street Shield to protect our land, but Count Zelamore decided they wanted the knights to go back to writing love poetry and picking flowers. Now crime is exploding in the south. There's no one to keep order.
That is your problem. People have been visiting my keep from across the kingdom to learn about knightly virtues and court etiquette. For a fee, of course. So Zell has gotten a few more gold coins, and trade has gone up in the Count's neck of the woods in the east. Daluna?
By the ninth, your outdated notions of chivalry are irrelevant in the modern age. This beautiful year of...
Actually, they're more relevant than ever. We can all do with a little romance in our lives, let's be real. In fact, I should come to the capital and spread the word. What do you say, Your Grace? Alright, well, Council, what do we do? Do we invite Count Zelnamore to spread the ideas to the castle? This will raise and lower defiance, but raise stability. Or do we send Count Zelnamore to help the Grandies overcome their problem? This has a 30% chance of success, so not ideal. Or do we order the Gossamer Knights to fight for the Grandies again? This will raise and lower defiance accordingly. Wealth will go up, military will go up, and stability will go up. Of course, I leave this to my trustworthy nobles to decide. But just to be safe... There we are. It's year... Oh yeah, you're right. It is the year 951. It says so right in the left corner of the screen. Alright, everyone. Make your votes. Alright.
I'm gonna go with the chaotic one. I'm probably alone in this.
Well, you know, Bubba still has to vote. It could get put into a deadlock again. But we will have to see. Of course, the timer is now up. So I will give you a few more seconds to decide, just because I'm a kind and generous king. Alright, well, if that is your decision, Bubba, we will assume that you would have picked A. Voting is closed. Oh. Well, now I'm confused. I made a mistake.
Granny stormed out. Oh, that's
That's weird. It seems like it's Bubba is saying it, but it's... Huh.
Declaring you and Conrad Zelnamore a pair of soft-hearted fools.
Count Zelnamore establishes a library in your palace, filled with Eastern books concerning unrequited love and duty-bound, doom-laden tragedy. The Counts appreciate their culture being given a chance to shine. Their defiance has gone down even further. Grandees are a bit annoyed. Tourists from across the kingdom travel to the capital to soak up the atmosphere, as Count Zelnamore becomes quite the celebrity. Good for Zell. Alright, let's see how this miracle thing's going. We have a 70% chance of success. It's better than last time. God dang it, again? Oh boy. Still need that faith to go up higher. But, unfortunately, that does it for this... Oh no, wait, there's one more. Forgot about this down here. Because it was hiding. The elderly lady, Patrician Demetria, a cousin of many times removed from Lord Patrician Daluna 13 II, died in her sleep last week. She was nearly 90. Would you believe? Why are you telling me this? She was very wealthy, Your Majesty. But she could have spent more time on her accounts. She died without a will, and the nobles are scrambling for her estate. Daluna?
Lady Patricia Demetria was my relative. I wrote to her at least once a year. Of course the estate should be mine.
I mean, that is reasonable. My late great-grandfather used to play backgammon with her. He swore she intended to leave it to our family. That's a bit nebulous, but alright. Daluna?
By the ninth, that's a pitiful claim.
Yeah,
We were tennis buddies! You should give it to me!
it's even worse than that. Hey, my great-grandfather was her best friend, and they played games on the weekends sometimes. Of course she would want me to have it. Alright, Council, what are we doing? Do we give the estate to Lord Patrician Daluna 13 II, who's actually related to the person? Wealth will go up, treasury will go up, defiance up and down. Do we give the estate to Count Zelnamore with his less nebulous, less credible claim, but a claim nonetheless? Defiance goes up and down, wealth goes up, treasury goes up for him. See, do we redistribute the estate amongst the coastal peasants? Defiance goes up and trade goes up. Interesting. Or D, do we claim the estate for the treasury, giving it all to me? Defiance goes up and treasury goes up. I mean, I could make that one the bribe choice, but I think I'm just gonna let this one ride out. Of course, Daluna votes predictably. He's going to want it to go to himself. Huh.
The predictable, there are two predictable answers for me. The other, one of them makes actual sense because it's involving my character. The other one makes actual sense because it's involving what I need it to do.
Yeah.
And making trade go up.
Yeah, honestly, I thought you were gonna go for the uncharacteristic but what you would want, but good on you. Well, in a surprise turn of events, one of the counts voted for it to go to the person with the claim, as did the patricians.
Look, what can I say? It doesn't hurt.
Very well. Count Zelnamore shakes their head, muttering with their friends about favoritism in the council. But Lord Patrician Daluna 13 II and the other patricians are delighted. They even sent you and the treasury a gift basket as a token of their appreciation. Oh, how thoughtful. Daluna has all of the money. And, the treasury's pretty good right now. You trust the situation is resolved. I can't imagine how it wouldn't be resolved at this point. Alright, let's see. We have swing votes. After voting, nobles can change their minds and vote for a different option, the call for unity, or the monarch vote. The monarch marks their preferred voting option, and this gets 1 extra vote. That's really powerful. Also, I could use some unity to balance this out. I'm good on authority. I could get rid of my iron choice for the time being, but I like having it just in case I need it. Do I tempt fate? No. I'm genuinely tempted to go for it. Let's see, an irksome legacy, irritating visitors, or drama and tragedy. Ooh! I do like some drama and some tragedy on occasion. Grandy the Bubble Ding Dong storms into the council chamber brandishing a crumpled letter.
Conzer Lamore, what do you call this? Someone cares for you, someone cares for you unto death and beyond?
Oh, it's a love poem. How exquisite.
It's excruciating. People are sending this melodramatic rubbish across the South because of your influence, and I've had enough.
Oh, I thought it was directly to you, given... Whatever, it's fine. Daluna?
Your Holiness, I beg you, help me defeat this terrible poetry fad.
I mean, I do hate poetry. But, everyone, let's take a vote. A, keep the poems coming. This will raise defiance, raise stability, raise trade, and lower farming for some reason. B, do we just stamp out this tragic pining? 100% chance success because my authority is unstoppable. Or C, do we stir up drama so there's something worth writing poems about? Unfortunately, our stability's low, so that one's probably not going to be great. So we're not even encouraging that option. A or B? Seems Daluna likes the poetry, but unfortunately it seems both the patricians and the counts are unified in their disgust of poetry.
Bubba above game. Actually, not above game. It was Zelda's one that did this. Dang it.
Oh well. Voting is closed. It's time to get rid of poetry. You put out a proclamation. Poetry should be reserved for special occasions. Expresses of undying love are a little much on first meeting. Everyone should just cheer up. Save it for the poetry jam. The counts aren't happy, of course. They see the proclamation as a sign of disrespect to their cultural heritage. But, to your amazement, people listen. A new fad arises. Filthy limericks. Ah, now that's much better. I can appreciate a good limerick.
They're fun. They actually feel like something that Heckna would say.
Mm-hmm. The Grandy...
There once was a cloud from the gas. Or from... damn it. I lost what I was going to say.
Aw.
Wait.
The Grandies are relieved, indeed. Their people remove their heads from the clouds and focus on practical matters once more, lowering the defiance back down to 5. Well, that and coming up with obscene couplets. Somehow this raises trading and farming. I don't know how, but I'm not going to question it. Alright, and now what's this about? Some visitors in the south?
Your Highness, I simply can't stand it any longer. I need you to do something.
Whatever is the matter?
No, you should definitely answer C.
I didn't see C. Who peed in your porridge this morning?
I have a filthy presence squabbling all over my newly built cathedral. Trapping the walls. Bothering the priest.
Oh no! And thank you for the follow, Tania. Wait a minute. I think I forgot to turn the volume on my alerts. Oh well.
They've heard legends of buried treasure beneath the site. Total nonsense, of course. I need to keep these greedy treasure lovers off my land.
Actually, these rumors might not be nonsense. After conquering the south, King Arald the Great is said to have buried a huge stash of stolen loot, spoils of war in the area. Why would he waste some perfectly good gold by burying it? King Arald had plenty of cash by that point. Presumably, he meant to come back and dig it up all one day, but went off to invade Kurth and got himself killed. Maybe this is an opportunity, though. What are you suggesting? We could search for the treasure ourselves. Send a team of diggers to take the place apart brick by brick and dig deep into the foundations. Treasure, I appreciate the gumption, but this is a man's home. Daluna?
By the ninth, what are you saying? That would destroy the whole place.
Well, Council, what do? Do we take the building apart and search a treasure? This will raise defiance and lower faith. Do we place sentries around the cathedral to keep treasure hunters at bay? This will lower the treasury and lower defiance. Oh wait, it was a cathedral, that's right, not a person's home. This was a place of God. We can't just, dig that up. I'm trying to be a saint over here. Or C, do we dig up a fake treasure hoard and pretend the gold has already been found? I do really like C. C is fun.
C is stupid and I love it.
Let's go with C. You'll get some money if you do.
I was gonna go the SpongeBob route of, am I really going to defile this grave for money? Of course I am! But no, C is hilarious.
You can all stop digging now. We found the real treasure. It has been found. You can all go home. Alright, it seems unanimous. We're going to go with the silly option. The fake gold. You bury a fake hoard of tin coins painted to resemble gold. If you squint from a great distance, then you dig it up and declare that King Arald's treasure has been discovered.
I must commend the council on their genius. Since the fake hoard was discovered, I haven't been bothered by treasure hunters at all.
Unfortunately, things don't go so well for you. The peasants now think you're swimming in wealth and demand all sorts of tax breaks and new roads you can't afford. When their demands aren't met, they call you a money-grubbing skinflint, whatever that means. Unfortunately, stability went down. Damn. Alright, what's this about an irksome legacy up in the coast? Your Majesty, about the treasures of the late Lady Patrician Demetria, I heard there was a necklace of rubies among them. Where's the necklace now? This is of the utmost importance. I assume Lord Patrician Daluna II has it. And he will have no idea of the danger by the 9th!
I come in. I have what now?
A frail monk in the 7th century wrote of a ruby necklace that drove those around it to sin. I believe the late Lady Patrician Demetria had it in her collection. After all this time, it may have surfaced. That does sound worrying indeed.
How very slothful of her.
I'm glad you agree, Your Majesty.
That's an anime reference for those who can guess which anime it is.
I'm thinking either Seven Deadly Sins or Full Metal Alchemist.
It's neither of those.
I was wrong on both. Skinflint is the name to describe a person who spends as little money as possible. The necklace should be destroyed. It could be tested, but the holy reagents will be expensive. You call the council to discuss the situation. Lord Patrician Daluna II looks exceedingly anxious for some reason.
I'm sure there's no reason to see this necklace. Like, see, Surely the High Inquisitor made a mistake.
How often does she make a mistake? More to the point, how often are we able to not get her wrath? Well, Council, we must decide. Do we hand it over to the Inquisition? This has a 40% chance of success because of our faith. Do we ignore the High Inquisitor's concerns? This will have a 20% chance of success. Or do we have the necklace tested for unholy influences? This will cost 500 gold to do. Wealth will go up and down, and stability will go up. I do like option C. But of course, this is up to the Council. Place your votes wherever you please. Personally, I like AOC, but, you know, again, up to you. We, of course, have the money, so we could definitely give them the money. It seems that we have Satania, Bubba, and
I
Choco.
vote, once again, it's not the logical answer, but I'm voting the answer that actually would be when it would happen.
No, that's fair. That is definitely in character. It's your necklace.
Fair, I also don't trust those percentages.
Alright, we will have this necklace tested. I mean, in the worst case scenario, you'll get it back. Or in the best case scenario, you'll get it back if it turns out that this was all unnecessary. Lord Patrician Daluna 13 II reluctantly brings the necklace to the capital, and the High Inquisitor takes it away in a leaden box. She returns after a few days with an implacable expression. We had to destroy the necklace, as it was irrevocably tainted and host to numerous dark spirits. When word gets around about what happened, most of the coastal peasants agree that it's better to be safe than sorry when it comes to evil jewelry. Yes, we don't want a Mordor situation around here. His wealth goes down, but stability went up. Exactly. Bubba has the right handle on it. The Archbishop also sends a nominal fee to Lord Patrician Daluna II as an apology. So hey, you lost some money, you gained some money. In the end, it worked out for everyone. You know, that's pretty stand-up of the Archbishop. Look, I understand this was your relative's thing, but it's horribly cursed. We had to destroy it. Here's some money to replace it. Alright, once again, it seems our different countries have not really moved in their schemes. We seem to be in a bit of a deadlock at the moment. But what's this about a wandering bard? Your Majesty, a traveling bard. Your Majesty, a traveling bard. She says she has come to compose a song for you. Not just any bard, Your Highness. The best in all the land. Sally Six Fingers, they call me. A song, you say? About me? Why, of course. In fact, I have the tune and verse all but ready. I have saved my best work for you yet, my king. All I require is a subject. What should I tell the masses of you? What would you like to inspire? Teach them to love me. Obviously, that is what Heckna would go for. I will do so, Your Highness, absolutely. Give me but a few weeks, and everyone within the Crown Lands will know of your benevolence. Pray, I need but only a small payment of 500 gold for the time. A discounted rate for one as esteemed as yourself. I love this option. Pay you? Don't be silly, I'm the king.
Do it.
Nah, I think I'm going to... This is Heckna. He has an ego. I think he'd be willing to give the money. Not that much money. But that's a coin flip. How much do I think Heckna would willingly give? You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna do something stupid and reckless. You deserve more than that. What about 1,000? Oh, thank you, Your Majesty. She hurries out of the throne room to do your bidding. The song is the desired effect, with everyone praising your good nature. Yes.
I'm sorry, but the first thought when I popped into my head after hearing her name was those Six Fingers can do more than just play a lute.
Understandable. We're in a much better position now, with our authority high, our stability's at a reasonable point. Let's see how Sainthood is going. Oh shoot, I should have done
Also,
the
real
calls.
quick, my reference from earlier was from the anime ReZero.
I've never seen it.
It's a trip.
After a few weeks, Lord Patrician Daluna 13 II arrives excitedly.
Marvelous, Your Excellency! Excellent news from the coast! 9 white wildcats have been close to the participants' villa. A group of mercenaries followed them along the coast. They found an ancient, forgotten church carved in the cliffside. The wildcats vanished, leaving only a handful of fur. Not to mention the coastal crops suddenly flourished.
Farming has now gone up to 5. Besides, you must recall how last week the statue of St. Bertrand wept blood after you visited the cathedral, and that a peasant reported a vision of you being blessed by the 9th. When the king's rule is holy, the 9th god rewards. Everyone agrees the signs are here. Does that mean it's time? Actually, no, wait, this one's more in character. A sign of my power! I can feel it. And the 9th god's might, your majesty. Don't forget that. I will make the preparations for the ceremony at St. Bertrand's Cathedral. I look forward to seeing you. That evening, your wife comes to see you. St. Roger, what an honor! I can only imagine what you'll do with the kingdom after this. I think this is the most Heckna response. I'll deal with my enemies swiftly. I hope so, Roger. I suspect you'll have made a lot of them. Before you know it, the time has come. It's a glorious sunny day in the capital, and layers upon layers of ceremonial robes are rather hot. You stand before the Archbishop in St. Bertrand's Cathedral, in front of the gathered nobles. Desdemona stands beside you, her hand in yours. Off to the side, Roger II is watching excitedly. He occasionally tries to dash into the crowd, but his governess retrieves him each time. We gather before the power of the 9th god to witness the holy influence of King Roger. There follows a very long sermon. Stand and smile respectfully. Damn, Faith just took a massive upturn. And it goes on and on. But eventually, it's time for your blessing. A blanket of silence falls over the cathedral. You step forward, and the Archbishop sprinkles holy water upon your brow. Perhaps you feel something. A bright spark of potential. The future stretches ahead as the endless power of the influential church surrounds you. The nobles can never stand against you now. Rise once more, King of the Kingdom and Saint Roger. Heckna. Roger. Fair enough. May the 9th god bless this day.
Actually, I'm gonna quote the great Adam West in this. Roger. Heckna. Ralph.
He will, your majesty. He will. Applause rises from the cathedral, echoing into the huge rafters. Surrounded by her red-robed devotees, the High Inquisitor is watching closely. After a moment, she applauds with the rest. At the next council session, the nobles arrive to find a cluster of Inquisitors who have joined your honor guard. Chaco?
What are they doing here? Since when did the Inquisition have a place in the council?
Oh, I've decided to marry church and state. I can see no way in this going horribly awry. Daluna?
By the 9th, hush. Do you want to be tried for heresy?
Where are the priests? Sainthood hasn't changed me. I promise. Would I lie to
sincerely doubt
you?
that.
Would I lie?
Count Chocolate Zombie 101 still looks nervous. But none of the nobles, including him, speak up again.
You can't be a heretic if there's no god to worship.
That sounds like heretic talk. In front of the Inquisitors, a bold strategy. Let's see if it pays off for him, Cotton. Cotton's over there.
Hi, I'm Cotton.
Hello, Cotton.
I am
Lovely day,
certainly
isn't
not
it, Your
a witch,
Majesty?
and I will prove it.
Indeed it is. Over the course of the day, even the boldest noble is quick to vote with the crown. It's so easy, relaxing, efficient. You finish early for the first time in months. With the church at your back, you have license to do whatever you please, as long as you keep on the ninth god's good side, of course. A long, glorious, and venerated reign awaits for Saint Roger. The attempt to woo Scrampton, the coastal cause, was doomed to failure. Eventually the wizard, bored of these mortal quabbles, fed noble patrician Daluna 13 to a kraken, which is pretty impressive since Daluna 13 was dead. Daluna 13 the second was not. This implies he brought you back to life to feed you to a kraken.
Again. Wizards are assholes.
Yeah. Unable to convince the peasants to act in time, the Count's schemes fizzled into irrelevancy. Perhaps next time, they take matters into their own hands instead of hinging their plans on the whims of common folk. The Grandees' attempt to replace the king's advisors never panned out. One night, Grandee the Bubba-Lubba-Ding-Dong awoke to find a smiling spymaster holding a knife to their throat and kindly asking them to desist. Praise be! Under St. Roger's reign, the church was all-powerful. The only thing warmer than the hearts of the believers were the heretics being burned alive. The king died peacefully after another 15 years of devout rule. Legend says that an angel appeared at his bedside to bear him to the thereafter. That's a much nicer end for Heckna. Good for him. The game length was 4 years and 3 months. Spouse was Desdemona of the East, and our successor was King Roger II. Our wealthiest noble was, of course, Daluna 13 II, with 4,815 wealth to his name, and Zell was our poorest noble with 1,250. Our kingdom stats, our authority was at 10, stability at 5, the treasury's a little low at 1,000, but faith has exploded in the Grandees and in the patricians, with 10 for both. The counts are only at a modest 5. Our military is dog shit, so hopefully we never have to deal with an army. No, Bubba. The spymaster just told you, hey, stop it with your planning, after putting a knife to your throat. Basically saying, hey, if you come back, or if you make this plan, I will come back and kill you. She gave you an ultimatum, basically. Cotton is the bishop. And no, Setnia, no one expects you to be a witch. Look, some people just have 10 cats, it's fine. But hey, that does it for that kingdom. Or that reign. Do we want to go for another round with my son, or Heckna's son? Actually sounds like it'd be a really good B-movie, The Son of Heckna.
Yeah. I mean, we got an hour.
It's true. So let's hop on back in and see how my boy King Roger will do. Once again, feel free to hit the exclamation point join with your preferred pronouns. You should all go back to the proper countries that you were already in, which means we got a lot of counts. I give up the plan. Yeah, Bubba, unfortunately you picked lowering authority, and I was really good at keeping that up. Alright, I'll give it a bit more time if anyone else wants to hop on in and join. And I'm going to take a quick swig of water. Now I can just go back to my normal voice, or come up with a new voice. I wonder what happened to Heckna's son that he lost his eye. Takes after his father. Lack of an eye. Although I suppose Heckna in this timeline didn't lose his eye. Alright. Let us begin. If anyone wants, they're free to join whenever with the join command. Obviously, we will start with coronation. Oh yeah, no, our counts are like wildly different in appearance. Your Majesty, it was an honor to serve your father, but now it is your time to wear the crown. As tradition, the council will decide what happens at your coronation. Should I get changed into my waterproof robes, then? It may be for the best, Your Majesty. Shall we call the nobles in? Alright, how are we going to celebrate my coronation, Council? Will we do a lavish parade with jugglers and a fountain of wine? Do we force the commoners to swear a blood oath? Do we throw the king into the river? Or the nobles must put on a vast banquet for the king? Oh, I never read what the consequences are. The banquet will raise farming, lower wealth. Throwing me in the river raises stability, lowers authority. Commoners swearing a blood oath is authority up, stability down. And the lavish parade is treasury down, stability up. The treasury one would bankrupt us, but feel free to vote however you see fit. Also, the B option is a new one. Anyone want a casual blood oath? Oh, and Daluna, you typed vor, not vote.
No comment on that.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna mention that happened. I wasn't gonna say much else other than that.
Hey, look,
Insert
some people are into that.
Insert Donald Glover neck pull gif here. Look, the blood oath. We just want to eat you.
Well, it looks like it's up to me, the king, to decide if I'm going to be thrown into the river or if I'm going to be getting a lavish parade with jugglers and a fountain of wine. What do I want to do? Thrown in the river? Party with jugglers? I mean, that is expensive. Jugglers. Coronation is a great success. Jugglers, wine, fireworks, and feasts. It has an impact on your treasury, of course, but what doesn't? Right, let us introduce our council. Now that you are king, your first duty is to meet the Council of Nobles. Let us start with the East. Who is reading for Saturnia?
An honor to finally make your acquaintance, Your Highness. I was dismayed to hear of your father's passing.
Let us move to the patricians, but yes, it was quite sad, but it's time for change. Daluna.
A pleasure, Your Majesty. I hope to see our kingdom prosper and grow wealthy under your reign.
Well, I should hope so. And last, but certainly not least, we have Grandy the Bubble of a Ding Dong. Daluna, you were reading for Bubba, right? Daluna?
By the ninth, bless your reign, Your Holiness. I hope you will conduct yourself with honor and faith.
Yes. And with that, introductions are done. Council Hall immediately fills with raised voices as nobles argue. Is this what your father fought so hard for? You get used to it. Your Majesty, you have some big boots to fill. And with your father out of the picture, the nobles will be looking any opportunity to replace you. When you die, how do you hope the kingdom will remember you? As a conqueror, as a peacekeeper, as the greatest king who ever lived, as the father of a nation, as the architect of a golden age, or as a saint. Let's see. Our trade is not great. Our stability has gone to a decent position. I could try to go for the Peacekeeper. I could try to boost our authority again, but... Or I could... Our military's also garbage. That's going to be a tall sell. Let's go for Peacekeeper. An admirable aim. I suggest over the next few years you focus on improving the kingdom's stability as much as possible. Once you have an heir, I will return to discuss how your ambition is progressing. Good luck, Your Majesty. Alright, and that ends our first season. Now let's see what's going on with the patricians at the coast. Avis of the Daluna 13 family, eccentric coastal prodigy, scribbles with well-used quill on a hardwood desk, muttering in frustrations. Fellow patricians of the coasts, my claim to the throne is far more legitimate than King Roger II. Something must be done. Alright, patricians, how are you going to try and take the throne from him? Do you go with monopoly, raise your own trade? Conspiracy, lower the treasury? Or C, corruption, lower authority? Of course, as the sole patrician right now, this goes to Daluna to pick what you will be going with.
I'm gonna make you spend all your money.
I had a feeling you were going to go for that, since we were already on a very low position as it is. The patricians plan to sink the king under an ocean of debt. To advance their scheme, the patricians must lower the treasury to 1,500 or less in 3 seasons. You just gotta keep me at 500 for 3 seasons. Meanwhile, off to the east, Violetta of the Chocolate Zombie 101 Dynasty, eccentric eastern bird breeder, leans delicately on a podium, speaking in a melodious tone. My fellow counts, in ancient times, the East was its own proud kingdom. We can bring back those days of glory, but not while the false King Roger II wears the crown. What I'm saying is make the East great again. So, counts, how will you try to depose King Roger II? Through sorcery? Raise authority, subterfuge, lower stability, or C, possession, lower your own defiance.
So Tanya, what are you thinking?
Right? Looks like Satania
She
believes
says
possession.
C.
I mean, you're already in a very good position for that one, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
Alright, we already have a lead for 2 of our different countries. They're going with possession. The counts plan to summon a demon to possess the king, putting him totally under their control. First, they must lull the king into a false sense of security. To advance their scheme, the counts must lower their defiance to 4 or less in 2 seasons.
Hey, look, we're already there.
And last but certainly not least, we move on to the Grandees. Reyes of the Bubba Ding Dong lineage, powerful southern orator, stands bathed in sunlight, ranting in a fury. A false pretender occupies the throne while my claim is ignored. Grandees of the South, this is a stain on our honor. We must not allow it to go unanswered. All right. Well, how will you do it? Will you use a doppelganger, lower your defiance? B, intimidation, raise stability? Or C, uprising, raise the treasury? A and B are probably your best options because stability's already starting strong and your defiance is starting low. So it's of course up to you. And yep, Chair, you have joined in the Grandees. What are you thinking, Bubba? I'll wait for you to get your vote in before I hit continue. A random chair believes that you should be going with stability. Looks like it's unanimous then. Voting is closed. The Grandees plan to hold the king hostage in his own palace. First, they must lull the spy master into a false sense of security. To advance their scheme, the Grandees must raise stability to 5 or more in 4 seasons. Everyone has achieved their first goal right out the gate. This is bad news for me. Alright, so let's see. I have Call for Unity, stop the counter swing votes. Obviously, I'm going Call for Unity. Alright, let's see. We have Bankruptcy looms and Invitation. Well, let's deal with the bankruptcy problem first. The treasury is almost empty, Your Highness. Where the hell did it all go? I couldn't possibly say, Your Majesty. Perhaps you've been spending a little too freely. Maybe the coronation was a bad idea. Apart from raising taxes, we have precious few options. You could get a bank loan, or sell off the crown jewels, or perhaps crack open some of your predecessors' tombs. Most were built with piles of gold, or so I've heard. Don't I own the Royal Mint? I'll make more coins. Ah, yes. That will surely go well, I'm sure. We could take a hefty loan from Salvant and Gaul Bank. That will lower our authority. We could sell off some of the royal jewelry to wealthier nobles. This will lower authority, lower wealth, and raise the treasury. Or do we just crack open some tombs? This will raise my treasury, raise my defiance, and lower stability. This is a tough call. How dumb is Roger II? Because the Royal Mint one, I can see having all sorts of negative ramifications, but I would get a lot of money out of it. The loan could be a problem. I'm stuck between the two. I think I'm gonna go with the loan. The Bank of Salvant and Gaul operates from the fabulously wealthy Republic of Kurth, all the way across the Western Sea. They assure you, however, they maintain total independence from the Republic. The banker they send to take your signature has delicate hands and sharp teeth. He watches you as you put pen to paper, eyes glittering. You're making an excellent decision, Your Majesty. You shall pay us back with 25% interest in 1 year. Settling the kingdom in debt isn't great optics, but you had no other choice. Authority's gone down. Let's see what the honor guard I'll be getting this time. Lord, I'd like to remind you that the kings don't have to repay debts. The peasantry are always in debt to you. I'm sure they wouldn't mind a loan. Random Share brought a very good point up. As is tradition, each region offers a selection of elite guards. The counts with the knights, the Order of the Drowned Rose, the patricians with champion gladiators from the arena, and the grandees offer the fiercest battle nuns from the Sisterhood of Steel. Think carefully, Your Majesty. These guards' loyalties will be divided between you and their region. Of course, you could just hire foreign mercenaries. They'd be loyal to coin above all. Let's see. Oh, we've got a nice even split going on now. Let's see. I mean, my father had the battle nuns, but perhaps I'll go with something different this time. I await your verdict with bated breath, Your Majesty. Let me think. The battle nuns are pretty dope. I grew up with them in the castle, but... You know what? Let's see how the knights do. I will make the arrangements at once. The knights arrive a few weeks later. They are extremely pale and extremely polite. The commander introduces herself with a florid bow before reading out a poem she's written for the occasion. Excellent. An invitation? Without a word, Countess Satina hands you a blood-red envelope. Satinia, excuse me. It is sealed with white wax in the shape of a skull. Inside is a beautifully written invitation to an event called the Crimson Vigil, due to take place on an autumn night later in the year. I suppose I shall attend this event, whatever it is. Chaco?
I will see you next at the vigil, Your Majesty.
And I you. Well, that is it for our first season. And nobles, it is time for an auction. We have a monument, which would raise authority. We have a stadium to lower military. The grandees would get a fortress for their military to go up, or a library, which would raise stability. The Grand Bazaar would raise their trade of the patricians, and the patricians could also vote for the Thieves Guild if they want to lower their trade for some unknown, bizarre reason. But, my nobles, it is time to start the auction. What will you be going for? I personally would like the library, and it would certainly help with the Grandees goal. I feel like we're working together. Patrician Thieves! Alright, let's see. Where is the money coming in? Where are we going?
Also,
hey,
hello,
Doc.
Gnosis. Convidas for shiz. Great name.
Alright. Looks like no one has put any money into any of the buildings yet, but we have 27 seconds. Hey, Legacy. What a horrible night to have a scheme. I love that emote. Who is that from? Dreamtois. Alright, looks like we have someone putting funds into the monument. For the new people in here, the Grandees are trying to raise stability. The coast, patricians of the coast trying to lower the treasury. And, of course, our counts are trying to lower their own defiance. Looks like we have a raise in stability and military. Everything's coming up for the Grandees.
If you want to join, exclamation join and your preferred pronouns.
Let's see, we'll go to finding a spouse first. Wow, I have an invitation to another event and the Crimson Vigil. Oh my goodness. I'm a very popular guy. Your Majesty, it is important to find a spouse sooner rather than later. I'll take the liberty of finding eligible candidates. What's your preference? Men, women, or do you not mind? Huh. Where's my mother? Did she die or something when I wasn't looking? Women. Thank you, Your Majesty. I'll send out messengers to the most influential noble families in the kingdom. Let's see what they have to offer. Alright. Well, let's see what this invitation is before we go to the Crimson Vigil. Pay no heed to the pirate, he's from Kurth. Who will read for Vides Fauchis?
Your Majesty, it's my singular honor to invite you to attend the annual Night of the Seven Pyres celebration.
Ooh. I look forward to attending.
We are blessed. I trust you are willing to finance and organize one of the pyres. It is customary for the king to do so in his attendance.
I'll make sure it's a night to remember.
I look forward to it, Your Majesty. I don't know what this voice is, but I went with it on the fly.
Why
You
not?
went with the Walter Cronkite.
Oh, can you choose? Huh. Huh, I guess you can choose which country you join if you want.
Oh, we got a lot of people now, looks like.
Yeah, we have a full... Well, we have 3 people for each one, so this is going to be an interesting vote when we finally get to the voting.
Mm-hmm.
The Crimson Vigil takes place in a bleak castle atop an eastern hill. Your journey takes weeks, and your baggage train keeps getting stuck in bogs. Guests at the Crimson Vigil compete on who can dress the most ghoulish and frightening costume. What do you dress as? Demon with horns, cloven hooves, red skin, a dragon with gem-studded wings and a golden tail, a ghost in tattered clothing, draped in clanking chains, or just your normal clothing. For what is scarier than a king? I'm gonna go with the dragon. It's the most expensive, but it's on brand. I am half dragon. The wings get stuck in the castle doorways, and you keep tripping over the tail. But the counts are in awe at such a display of ostentatious wealth. Hey, authority went up. As you're assessing your appearance, Countess Satina sweeps in dressed as a living corpse. Satinia, damn it, I keep doing that.
It's alright. Welcome, welcome. Your costume is extraordinary, Your Highness. Truly, it puts the rest of us to shame. Please remember to stay in the upper levels. The dungeons are, of course, out of bounds.
Of course, of course. In the ballroom, you find the counts gathered, all dressed up as frightful monsters, wolfmen, pumpkin heads, witches. A waiter glides past holding a tray of canapes. A pianist plays a mournful tune.
The Crimson Vigil begins at midnight. What role will you take? A mourner? Or are you willing to portray a hound of the betrayer?
So, to answer your question, Random Chair, I always try to win, but of course it's more about having fun. Also, Legacy, the patricians have 10 faith because the previous king was a saint, and it boosted everybody up ridiculous in faith. This is the second round, basically.
And the patricians have 0 military.
Yeah. Look, they're more about business than they are about military. You'd think they'd want to defend their trade, but nah, they're fine. Could you tell me more about these roles? Surely you're familiar... Oh, sorry, that's you.
Alright. Surely you are familiar with our customs, Your Majesty. If you aren't, sure you should stick to being a mourner.
I will play a mourner, then. Your ceremonial role is to stand among the other mourners and wait for the hounds to catch the king in exile. After that, just follow what the... Oh, wait, nope, sorry, that's, you again.
Yeah,
I thought that was my mistake.
Your ceremonial role is to stand among the other mourners and wait for the hounds to catch the king in exile. After that, just follow what the other mourners do. Good luck!
Alright. The counts gather after Countess Satania 125 delivers a short speech about remembering the old ways. A flaming crown is placed on her head.
I will be playing the king in exile this evening. The hounds of the betrayer will try to catch me, but fear not, I am swift as a falling star, and old as the hills.
Stand among the mourners. Satania 125 runs down the corridor, flames licking behind her, pursued by a dozen counts in monstrous costumes. It is a bizarre sight. Wait. Half an hour later, Satania 125 is dragged back, her crown still smoldering. One by one, the other mourners drop to their knees in a posture of worship. I mean, I'm the king. But...
How egotistical as Roger II.
I think he inherited a bit from his father. He's not as, but refuse. The counts murmur in shock as you stand stubbornly, arms folded. Defiance has gone to aloof. The ceremony concludes with a mock's execution, and a bottle of very expensive red wine spilling over Satania 125's head. After that, the music is more cheerful. The counts dance and chat long into the night. At dawn you board your carriage and begin the long journey back to the capital.
Hey, look, you weren't born into that situation. You probably don't remember the old customs. It's not your fault.
Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, hidden in a labyrinth beneath an eastern castle, a pair of counts meet to speak of their schemes against the king.
The Chancellor has sent me a fruit basket last week to thank us for our efforts in helping the crown. It's working. Our reputation is secure.
Our problem now is the Archbishop. His beady little eyes will focus on us if we're not careful. You must evade him at all costs. For the next stage of their scheme, the counts must lower their faith to 4 or less in 4 seasons. That shouldn't be too difficult. Unlike the grandees of the patricians, you're pretty faithless.
Yeah. We do it just enough to maintain, maintain relationships.
You know what? I think we're just gonna go for a regular tax season. No one needs to be punished for anything. I'm not really trying to bribe anyone as of right now. Go for a nice level. Well, that was fast. An old debt already? Okay. I believe, Daluna, you were,
How do you expect me to take this seriously, you crack-brained simpleton?
And you're right, Random Chair. It's just difficult to juggle between the two. I'll try to be more, looking at the chat. Who is reading for Gnosis?
I guess it's gonna both be me. Shut your daft mouth, give me what I'm owed, you horrorless dog. You honorless dog.
Calm down, both of you.
This pimpleheaded quick expects you to pay him a huge quantity of gold because his great-great-grandfather beat my great-great-grandfather in a foot race. A debt is a debt old, is it not?
And thank you for the follow,
No.
Legacy.
Like, above game, no. Sins of the father and all that shit.
I mean, he's telling
Your
me.
Highness, I only recently discovered this debt while combing through my ancestors' journal. Honor dictates that the Grand Bubba Bubba Ding Dong is liable for their ancestors' debt. By the ninth, this is ludicrous. I demand we put this to a vote.
All right, Council, let's get to voting. What are we going to do? A. Do we order Grandy the Bubble Ubba Ding Dong to pay their debt? Defiance will raise and lower accordingly, as will wealth. B. Do we just cancel the debt? It's too old to matter. Debt will rise and lower. Or C. Do we order Grandy the Bubble Ubba Ding Dong to pay their debt plus 2 centuries of interest? We'll do the same as A, but it'll be much worse. I'm just going to leave this to y'all. Vote as you see fit. The poll is open. Right? Looks like...
Look, I'm just gonna say, it's... If we were to add interest to it, that would basically bankrupt them.
Oh, 100% it would. Alright, it looks like B is the one that's getting more attention. Just canceling the debt. However, we do have some in A and C. Wow, it is unanimous to just cancel this debt. Daluna?
We are blessed. Glad the council sees reason in the matter. A debt is a debt. Does nobody care about honor anymore? Shut the fuck up.
How many centuries ago would that put it? It was great, great, great?
That's a 4-century-old debt.
Alright. Well, now that that's been properly sorted, what's this about, an arms shortage? I'll read for Alexa. Your August Majesty, the situation in the coast is dire. The patricians, I mean, the King's navy is in tatters. So few ships remain that I fear we lack the presence to patrol our trade routes. We must bolster our dwindling forces in the coast. Who knows what will happen to our people without protection? Alright, Council, what are we gonna do? Do we hire a mercenary company to help the coast? The treasury will go down by a substantial bit, but their military goes up. Do we employ traders from the east to build new ships? That is a 40% chance of success. Or, the coast has no need for sailors, just leave them be. Our stability is at 90, so surprisingly, ignoring the problem would actually work for us, maybe.
Look, it's we're never really given an option to say, like, let's just let this play out. It's one of those rare times where that's okay. That's an okay thing to do.
Alright, let's start the vote and see how it goes. I was gonna try to skew it, but honestly, I'm curious how this goes with all of the new people coming in. With how lawless their lands have become, they fear they may turn to banditry if we hire mercenary or peasant merchants. That is a very valid point, noble random chair. We have some people going for A, but it seems the consensus is just let it ride. What an interesting dilemma we have. However, it seems Legacy and Tolbat really believe that we should hire mercenaries. But with a 7-2, it looks like we're going straight for ignoring the problem.
This totally won't backfire on anyone.
Nah, we'll just kick that can right down the road once again. Not everyone in the kingdom believes in military might. Although the patricians are furious that you left them out to dry, other nobles praise your forward-thinking attitude. Perhaps disarmament is really on the horizon. Well, their defiance has gone up to 4, but stability has also gone up, Alright, let's see how we do with the eligibility options. See, it seems very few of the patricians. I mean, let me look at the list really quick again. Yeah, we have quite a few patricians. South is with the east. Alright. I have found 3 potential matches for you. 1 eligible young woman from each of the kingdom's 3 regions. Choose wisely. You'll be securing a powerful alliance. And a partner for life to hold and to have and to hold, don't forget. Indeed, your majesty. The Chancellor leads you to the Grand Hall where they arrange these portraits on easels. For now, each is covered with a cloth. Alright, let's see the eligible bachelorettes. They whisk away the cloth from the first portrait. This is Delvira, the eldest daughter of the Eastern Gnosis Dynasty. She's a good-looking one, eh? Not a bad word to say about her. Everyone likes her. She has a laboratory installed in her castle and spends most of her time there, conducting bizarre experiments. She got into some trouble with the Inquisition a while ago, but it didn't come to anything. I like a smart woman. Interesting. Intriguing candidate. From the coast, we have Arena, the wealthy heiress to Lord Patrician Toblatone's estate. I mean, just look at her. She's gorgeous. And apparently she's got a silver tongue, too. That is always very useful. She's also an obsessive collector of rare books. She'll splash out thousands for the right edition, and apparently she has a dark side. Though I don't know much more about that. Occultist, untrustworthy. That's a very fair point, and we are a religious kingdom. I like the sound of her. And finally, from the south, Cardosa, eldest daughter of the, oh boy, Diff's lineage. Prone to depressive episodes. Apparently she means well. She dislikes city life and spends most of her time out hunting, with no one but her horse for company. And she's got grand plans, by all accounts. She wants to change the world. Not bad, I suppose. What do you think, of course? By picking candidate, you'll anger the other regions, but you'll gain a lifelong alliance. This is a good question. I mean, she's prone to depressive episodes and is going to be out hunting more often than not, so I'm not really going to have much time if I choose Cardosa. Delvira, I do like a smart woman, and, you know, it's fine to have a healthy interest in the sciences. Although, considering we are a religious kingdom, that does bring up problems. You also said... I mean, I did read the occultist bit from Random Chair. How good would... Very good point from Random Chair. I was making something for me.
Now, in all fairness, her mother was from the east.
It's true.
Or rather, his mother, excuse me.
I think I'm going to go with Arena. Oh wait, that's to read it again. I have made my decision. Irina. Excellent, I'll make the arrangements. Cultist, wizard, or witch. That's a valid point from Gnosis. Alright. Actually, yeah, no, the south is like the biggest chunk. Although the east is also a pretty big chunk, it's kind of hard to tell which one is the bigger of the two, given just the shape of it. That's it for our season. In a dingy seaside tavern, two patricians of the coast meet to plot their latest scheme. Daluna.
Terrible news. The kingdom prospers. The treasury's practically overflowing. I didn't expect the new king to be complacent
Competent.
or competent.
Also, I believe that'd be me because he's the,
Yeah. Nobody did! Mr. Hargan to bankrupt him.
To be fair, that loan really saved me at the right time. The patrician's aim is to lower the treasury to 1,500 or less.
Okay.
Let's see, we have anonymous voting, swing voting, and the golden choice. A little bit of bribery is always helpful. I'm a great politician. Let's do... Wait, there's only 2 events this season? That's weird. Oh, no, there it is. Night of the Seven Pyres. Let's do the wedding first. Your wedding to Irina is naturally the talk of the kingdom. Nobles and peasants alike arrive from across the realm to attend. For a week and a day, the capital is a giant party. Feels like you're the only one not taking part. Instead, you're getting ready for the ceremony. Soon enough, you're standing at St. Bertrand's Cathedral with Irina by your side. Perhaps in my religion, my vote is always for sale. That's true. It's a very good point, Chair. I'll keep that in mind.
I wanna see what would happen if this is the first time you said I changed my mind.
Do you take this woman to be your lawfully wedded wife? I mean, it's not really worth it in the end, but it is interesting to think what would happen. I do. Then I pronounce you king and wife. And we're at 10 stability, heck yeah. After the wedding, of course, there's a feast. And after the feast, a dance. Your new wife Irina laps up the attention, delivering a witty speech in which she flatters you outrageously. Stability is at serene. Authority is at imperious. Imperious, yeah. Defiance has been lowered in the coast to 1. Defiance is aloof in the south and grumbling in the east. By the time you find yourself alone with Irina, it's past midnight and you've never felt more tired. Interesting. You danced so very beautifully. It was such a wonderful day, wasn't it? Agree. You endure a long conversation in which Irina seems determined to flatter you relentlessly and agree with everything you say. By night's end, you still don't know who Irina really is. Her real personality is concealed beneath hundreds of layers of etiquette. You go your separate bedchambers, still strangers. That's odd. Alright, now let's go to the Seven Pyres. It's not long until the Night of Seven Pyres. As you journey south, the sun beats down like a hammer. Grandi Vidiz Foshiz meets you at the gates of the city, Calaville.
Glad you could make it, Your Highness. Welcome to Calaville.
Beautiful place you have here.
The whole city is excited to have you here, Your Majesty. The citizens cannot wait to see your pyre burn. You will provide the surrounding entertainment and arrange the event's spectacular climax. But first, which of the disposed gods' effigies do you want to be responsible for burning?
Oh no, not Athamor. Let's see, the 8th god, the Entombed One, the 7th god, the Lord of Darkness, the 6th god, the Poison Eater, or the 3rd god, the Drowned Lady.
I understand your father was a very religious man, so take your time.
Well, I feel like the Drowned Lady is kind of funny because she's drowned, but we're setting her on fire, so that's mildly amusing, although the Lord of Darkness is quite thematic to set a being of darkness on fire. Of course,
that does sound good.
Of course, there's the Entombed God, who was the one before our 9th god currently and last to go. I think I'm going to go with the Lord of Darkness. Chaco?
An excellent decision, Your Majesty. Traditionally, the Seventh God's effigy is over 50 feet high and burned in the central square, usually attracting the biggest crowd.
Let's see. Thank you for the follow. Where did it go? Oh, there it is. Random chair. My lord, the town square is rather small. I suggest not hiring more than 2 companies, or we could have problems in this wooden town. I'm sure it's fine. This happens often, this festival. Surely they know what they're doing. Chaco?
Now, what kind of entertainers will you be hiring to surround your pyre and impress spectators?
Well, you know, in honor of my father, we're going to have some clowns.
I
In
must
honor of
admit,
Heckna.
Your Majesty, the things horrify me, but it is your decision. You'll need more than that to draw a crowd, however. Who else?
Of course.
Send in the clowns.
Well, you
And
know,
the fire breathers. Heckna would love the fire breathers. Or the acrobats.
Fire breathers or fire dancers?
Yeah, honestly, I was thinking about the fire breathers in honor of a certain clown that we had in a certain campaign.
I was gonna say, well, yeah.
I do not know how they do it without burning the lips, Your Majesty, but must be a technique to it. Is there anyone else?
Why not both? Is also good. Let's see, we've got the dancers, we're acrobats.
Acrobats.
Yeah, let's...
Acrobats. That's Infinity with Heckna.
Mm,
Because he had acrobats. He had the spiders.
Or the arachnobats?
it's true.
Excuse me.
The web. Our treasury spent. The strange wigs wearers... mixed
Trapezing
with
above the roaring flames enough to make even a stone hot sail. With all these entertainers, your pyre will be quite a spectacle.
And yes, worry not, random chair. I know exactly what I'm doing. A little bit of fire breathing never hurt anyone. As long as they don't get mixed up into it. You know what? Let's also have some fire dancers.
Wonderful choice, Your Holiness. The fire dancers of the South are famed throughout the kingdom. But methinks you or your pyre might be a little crowded.
That should be enough.
The work is not yet done, Your Majesty. You must decide on the pyre's spectacular climax. Sometimes we go with fireworks, but those are expensive. The black powder must be sourced all the way from Kurth. A less exciting alternative is to top the effigy over like a falling tree.
Listen. Gnosis, of course we gotta make this an amazing circus. I mean, our father was... Well, I would recommend you look through my YouTube channel's playlist for the Revelian Nightmare. We based the first king off of Heckna. Watching from your yacht in the middle of the sea.
Which myself and Daluna were a part of as players.
Indeed they were.
I still miss that. I'm gonna miss that campaign so much.
It was fun. I will still say, like, Lilith Madness is literally just her entire personality just turned up to 11.
Yeah.
With no filter.
You know what, I think we'll go with the normal amount of fireworks. That should be sufficient.
Oh, come on. Obscene amount of fireworks was right there.
It was.
There's never enough. There is never just a
Anything can
normal.
explode if you explode it hard enough.
Listen.
Wonderful job, Majesty. Your pyre will accumulate to the fireworks display, bringing the night sky alive. I will make the arrangements at once.
And listen, obscene fireworks would be fun, but, like, I'm also trying to make sure I don't spend too much.
I hope you enjoy this voice. There's like a hybrid of like Wilford Brimley, Vince McMahon, and Mr. Dink.
I am enjoying it, yes. Alright, I can't wait for the display. And listen, Satani, I understand your hesitance because you're from the east, but, like, this is gonna have a kick-ass fireworks display, and clowns, and fire eaters, and fire breathers. It's gonna be pretty entertaining, is all I'm saying. Oh shit, I forgot to read the bit about the tossed roses and all that. The effigy of the seventh god towers over the rooftops, a 50-foot demon with fearsome horns. As it bursts into flames, out come your fire dancers, acrobats, clowns, and fire breathers. You wait anxiously for the crowd's reaction.
Italian Patriot plays in the background.
The clowns honk and squeak. Fire dancers sway alluringly, spinning their flaming torches. Fire breathers roar gouts of flame. Overhead, acrobats glide over the flames like doves. And hey, Broaden, if you haven't joined already, if you hit !join and your preferred pronouns, you'll be put into one of the random noble houses. Whoop. Finally, your effigy explodes and fills the night sky with fizzling colors. The crowd coos. The surrounding buildings look distinctly flammable. Hopefully nothing will go wrong.
70% chance is better, is good enough.
Roll a natural 1! Roll a natural... Damn it!
Well,
Fortunately...
if you take my 70% chance, that's this chance, you've got no chance.
This could have been a XCOM choice, but thankfully it wasn't. Fortunately, no stray sparks catch anything alight. Thank the stars. You didn't want to be known as the king who burned down Collaville. The next day, you anxiously wait to hear how the South reacted to your fiery display. That's what happened. Oh, sorry. Nope, that's yours.
Congratulations, Your Majesty. All anyone can think about is your spectacular pyre. Everyone agrees. You honor the Night God and put on one hell of a show. Excuse my blasphemy.
No worries. I understand. So, we have Defiance completely gone in the South, Faith could not go any higher, Authority's gone up to 8, Stability is maxed. And yes, Red Chair, I did see your message, so I maneuvered some stuff around. Always a pleasure to serve my people.
Hey, anything can be on fire if you set it on fire enough.
This is true. This is true. Alright, pardon, no worries.
Thank you, Your Highness. I hope you come down someday for another night of the Seven Pyres.
Right, and that's the 7 pyres. Let's see, what's going on? A vanity project. The chief architect bustles into your office carrying an armful of parchments. Statues can be torn down, paintings can be burned, but don't you think it's time you left a lasting mark on the kingdom? I propose we carve your majesty's visage into the side of the mountain. It will take a dozen artisans, thousands of hours, but will ensure you are always remembered. I don't know. It sounds a bit ridiculous. Well, I went to university and everything. You call a vote to discuss this outrageous plan. A mountainside carved in your likeness will surely get people talking, but it will take time and a lot of gold.
We're already in debt. We borrowed money.
Yeah. The treasury's too low for us to also get Queen Consort Arena in, but our options are to go ahead with the project. It'll be a wonder of the world that'll lower our treasury by 2,000 exact. See, yes, and the nobles will fund it. You will lower your wealth by 2,250 and your defiance will go up. Or, this idea is best left forgotten, which will increase trade. You know what? I'm thinking this isn't a great idea. You can get 500 if you vote for D, but of course, always feel free to vote how you see fit. Mercenary lords, happy to tax negotiations.
I'm tempted to say C for the hilarity.
I'm voting D just because I'm like either that or actually, damn it, I should have voted A. I can't change my vote, but oh well.
Yeah,
I'm getting money, so the treasure's gonna go down either way.
Yeah. Gold is gold, indeed.
Actually, this is even worse for you because you think you might be bankrupt because of that.
No, D is the idea's best left forgotten, which is we're not going to do anything with it. A is the one that would bankrupt me.
You're still going to lose $500 to every single person that voted for that.
Am I?
You bribed it.
No, I don't lose gold from the bribe vote.
Oh,
I don't.
It's
It's just you get 500 gold if you go with me. It doesn't come from the treasury. I don't know how it works exactly. Gold just seems to materialize, and I don't question it. When the results of the vote are announced, the chief architect sighs in disappointment. Oh well, I suppose I'll have to focus my work elsewhere. He decides to train up an enterprising architects and builders across the kingdom, sharing his knowledge. Many of the nobles use this as this new expertise to renovate their estates. Trade has gone up everywhere. That's pretty great in the grand scheme. See, because he wasn't spending his time on that stupid statue, everyone got a benefit. In the south, beneath the scorching sun, Grandee Random Chair 22 strolls through their vineyard in company of a few close friends. Who would like to read for Random Chair?
Our plans are doing better than I expected. The spy master thinks all is well in the kingdom.
Thanks to her lack of attention, I've amended the wording of the oaths our soldiers swear when joining up. Now, they proclaim their loyalty to the ninth god rather than the king.
Things are proceeding better than I ever imagined. The next step is to replace that palace watch with our own agent.
Indeed, the honor guard are incorruptible, but the watch are another story. If the king can't pay them, they will look for money elsewhere. For the next stage of their scheme, the Grandees must lower the treasury to 1,500 or less. Oh no, there's 2 people trying to lower the treasury now. Uh-oh. So the east and the coast, the east and the south are doing really well on their second. Unfortunately, the patricians got a little screwed out of their first one because they got the bank loan, but I'm gonna have to pay that back eventually, so... Oh, look! Debt collection! Already! Oh, look, a beached whale! What's this about?
Your esteemed highness, a great whale has washed up on the coast, right outside my villa!
Lord, as I've said, I'm completely willing to hand over my vote, perhaps some campaigning to assist you in getting what you wish on council votes. That's a very good point, Random Chair, but at the moment, the treasury's getting a little bit tight. I'd love to give you what you want, but unfortunately, aside from my golden choice, I can't really give you much. At the time being. Once we're in a much better financial situation, I'd be willing to acquire your vote. For services rendered, of course.
However, before I could order my servants to harvest its blood, the Finfolk crawled in the sand and begged me for an audience with the king. Finfolk exist?
Oh, I've always wanted to meet one of the denizens of the sea. Your hopes are fulfilled when a frog-faced, green-skinned man waddles in, his flippers slapping against the marble. Your Majesty, you must not allow Lord Patrician Legacy 0117 to kill Sophia! Sophia is a wise and gentle whale, great friend of the Finfolk. In what way is this whale your friend? She keeps the sharks away, banishes our gloom with her beautiful songs, provides us with her bounteous milk. Aww. Please, return her to the waters where she was born.
Or, hear me out, Your Majesty. We could strip her down the whale to its components and make fortune. Who cares what the fish people think?
Well, that's racist. But it is entirely up to the council. Lord, the Finfolk are a dangerous species that could control the fisheries and trade routes of our kingdom if they were to be upset. Well, everyone, we need to decide. Do we let Lord Patrician Legacy 0117 slaughter and harvest the whale? This will raise his wealth, raise trade, lower defiance, and lower farming. B, do we return the whale to the Finfolk, a friend to its people? This will raise defiance and farming. Or C, that whale will make a fine trophy in my throne room. This will just raise defiance for everyone. But, of course, I leave this up to our nobles. I'm sure you'll all do the right thing. Feel free to place your votes wherever you see fit. Don't worry, Random Chair, I'll keep your secret. Everyone has their own preferences, of course. Alright, it looks like we have a lot of people going for B. However, Chaco has gone into A. This could still maybe get turned around. Well, hold on. I may have spoken way too soon.
6-1. I think that the odds are gonna be in
7-1. Yeah, it's gone a bit in a direction. It seems that our nobles are kind and caring souls. They want to return the whale to her proper home.
By the 9th, I can't believe this! How can you take a fisherman's side over your own citizens?
Thank you, your majesty. The Finn folk owe you a great debt.
This guy looks... I said this last time, but this guy looks like that one champion from Zelda.
Oh, yeah, not Mina. Her brother. I'm drawing a blank on his name, but I can picture him in my head.
He's voiced by Sean Cliplot. That's all I remember from him.
Yeah, that's a very valid point. They are very powerful. Best not to make enemies with the sea folk.
They have the ocean on their side, and you remember what happened the last time someone tried to fight Poseidon?
Using a crane and a team of oxen, the great whale is lifted and placed upon wooden rollers. Without ceremony, it is plopped back into the ocean, where it splashes its tail and sprays water in apparent gratitude. From that point on, coastal fishermen report their catches have nearly doubled. The grateful Finn folk have literally herded fish towards their nets. Hell yeah. People working together. Alright, let's talk to the debt collectors. Greetings, your majesty. I'm here on behalf of Salvant in Gaul to collect what we are owed. Oh. You. Right. I work for the highest bidder, my pockets, the kingdom, the grandees, in that order. Fair point, fair point. Can I extend the turn? No, that's gonna be even more. I can't pay. It does not pay to defy Salvant in Gaul, your majesty. We'll return to the public of Kurth and inform the Grand Pensory that you're refusing to pay your debts. Look, it's not that I'm refusing, it's that I literally can't. Can I pay you in installments or something? That's all I'll stay for now. Ah, Gnosis Doc. Who was reading for Gnosis? I forget who it was.
I got it. Your Majesty, I've come up with an excellent money-saving scheme.
I'm listening.
Have you heard of a thing called simonial? It means selling off priesthoods to anyone who wants them. I've already spoken to the Archbishop and convinced him it's a good idea.
Oh, well, if you talk to the Archbishop, then we don't have to care about him being upset about it.
Of course he'll get a healthy cut of the profits, and so will you.
Well, the High Inquisitor might not be happy, but who gives a shit what she thinks? Let me guess, you need my help getting it past the Council.
What else is a good king for?
No way this can backfire. That's a good point. Church is approving bribes. Hell yeah. No, this works out great for Random Chair. Hey, speaking of Random Chair, would you like to be a priest? Figure I'd shop this out right now. I was skeptical at first, but Count Gnosis Doc II has really sold me on the idea. Let's put it to a vote, shall we? Alright, what do we do? Do we permit the church to sell priesthoods? Or, nah, this is gonna backfire. I don't see why not. You know what? Just to really send the point forward, here's 500 gold if you vote for A. Our faith will go down a little bit, but, you know, I think it's worth it. Well, Chaco says this will backfire. I respect your integrity, Chaco.
I need my faith, Lord. God damn it.
Wait, then wouldn't you want to have
This
voted?
is the first time in this entire game that I've had the chance to lower my faith.
Yeah, A was the one that would lower your faith.
Oh.
Yeah, that would just...
I got confused because I thought it raised faith.
No, B was raising your defiance.
Oh, okay. Well, it worked out anyway.
Yeah, no, everyone voted to sell priesthoods. Everyone loves money, it turns out. I do not respect your integrity, but I acknowledge it, says Random Chair. Jocko?
How delightful. You've done the right thing, Gold Grace. Soon you and the Archbishop will both be swimming in gold.
Well, Bubba, hold on. You can only have one title per person, but you can upgrade as you go along, of course. Count Gnosis Doc II's predictions come true. Everyone wants to be a priest, and the church can now afford shiny new altars and even bigger hats. You get some kickbacks too, of course. But over the next few months, it becomes apparent that the new priests are sloppy, corrupt, and badly behaved. The common folk lose faith in the church. God damn, that was a massive hit to the east. 1700 on the Archbishop. Oh, it's time to end the season. Well, folks, it's time to start our auctions once again. If you'd like to raise trade for the counts, you need to go for the Grand Bazaar. An observatory for the counts will lower their faith even further. The grandees can raise my authority if they build a monument, and lower their military for some reason if they want a stadium. The patricians could build an aqueduct to help with their farming, which is already fantastic, or they could vote for a fortress to raise their non-existent military. Let's start the auctioning. Everyone please put in what you'd like to vote for. You have about a minute to choose and put your funds in the appropriate places. You know what? I will trust in the ninth god, as is tradition. Alright, let's see. Right now it looks like the counts are getting two things on the docket. Both a raise in trade and a lowering of faith. But that just suddenly came out because the fortress is 3,000, so it looks like we're getting a raise in the military for the south. And the counts are getting their Grand Bazaar to boost their trade. Unless somebody puts more money into the observatory in the next 6 seconds. It looks like we have our two victors. Time is up. Well, it looks like we're getting that Hey, look at that! The South finally got their military together. There's one guy with a spear. He's got this, though. I believe in him. Believe in Charles. That's his name. Charles, the one patrician soldier. Uh-oh. Oh, there's a lot going on in the capital. I'm curious about this terrible secret. Your Majesty, I bring urgent news. The counts are deliberately eroding the power of the church in the east. What? Really? Hardly believed it myself, but what's even more alarming is why they're doing this. The counts are planning to hollow out your mind and summon a demon to fill the void and take possession. By the time they've finished, you'll be nothing but a shell. The demon will take you over body and soul. By the ninth god! My thoughts exactly, Your Majesty. We must bring this sacrilege to the Council's attention. Alright, Council, we need to decide how to protect me from this. Do we spread the word about the dangers of demons? This will raise faith, lower authority, and raise defiance. Do we have me bathed in holy water twice a day, which will delay their scheme for a day? Or, the counts are hardly a threat, just leave them to their business. Nope, C does not exist. A or B. We have to do something. Option A would definitely just destroy their entire plan, wouldn't it? And I mean, if the other regions don't want the counts getting a victory, they might want to vote for that, just throwing that out there. Alright. So, it looks... Oh, not... Okay, there they go. I was going to say, not a lot of people voted this one. Alright, it looks like it's an even split. I'll wait to see if a tiebreaker shows themselves. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, to be fair, B is also going to delay it, which gives us some time to react, but obviously A's the better one, but it doesn't look like anyone's coming in. We're tied at 3, and I'm going to choose that we spread word of the dangers of demons. How can the king fight against the count's horrifying plan? Alright, let me tell you all about demons. All across the kingdom, priests deliver impassioned sermons on the dangers of the seventh god's agents. More and more citizens flock to the church, and peasants place the holy symbols in windows to protect their homes from demonic influence. But many nobles grumble about the church's meddling in official matters. Is King Roger II in charge, or the Inquisition? Authority has gone down slightly, and everybody just started grumbling, which is weird because you'd think the Grandies would be okay with the church having a little more power considering their whole deal, but you know what? It's fine. Alright, let's see what this trade war is about. Your Majesty, the Republic of Kurth has levied extreme trade sanctions against us for our perceived crimes against them. Notably, your inability to repay your loan from Salvandingal Bank. Everyone's trade went down and our stability went down. Look, if they just gave me more time, this wouldn't be an issue. What can we do about it? That's for the Council to decide. Kurth must also be suffering from this, but we can't afford to wait them out. Our people will soon run out of basic necessities. Alright, Council, what are we going to do? Do we escalate the trade war by raising tariffs on Kurth goods? This will lower trade, lower stability, raise authority, lower wealth, and raise defiance. Do we import essential goods from Ashmead instead of Kurth? That'll lower authority, raise farming, raise trade, lower stability, lower faith. Or C, do we lower tariffs and offer exclusive trade routes to Kurth as a concession? That'll just lower authority. Let's see. Oh, it was +2. Worked out. Alright. Can't lock me out of Kurth. I've got relatives living in there. Oh, man. Well, I will start the vote. I trust you nobles to do the responsible thing here. Import does sound like one of the best options. Fuck Kurth. Ashmead has all the good shit anyway.
I think B is the safest thing.
Yeah.
It really is.
There's actually a lot of positives.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we have higher farming, higher trade. I mean, yes, our faith takes a bump, and so does stability, but...
Yeah, like, our stability is already at a pretty good position, so it's not too bad if we lose 1 point in it. But we don't know how many points it'll be, which is a little concerning, but... The Ashmedian Empire, though historically hostile to the kingdom, is more than happy to swoop in and provide for your kingdom in its hour of need. Of course, the aid doesn't come without cost, so we've lost a bit of authority. Cheap Ashmedian goods flood into the kingdom, replace Kurth's trade. Along with them comes a waves of foreign merchants, strange priests, and bizarre new customs. A small price to pay to keep the kingdom intact. Farming has gone huge up in the coast. Farming is fruitful in the east, farming is fertile in the south, trade is struggling on the coast, which is really bad, but hey, it went up. The east is prosperous, the south is dynamic, stability is united, and faith has gone to fervent. And skeptical, and fervent. So hey, you know, things could be worse. Fun fact, in Ashmedian lore, Ashmead is actually gigantic. We're about the size of one of their many warlords. They're all just fighting each other. Oh, okay, so they have a whole, like, warring states thing going on. Alright, let's see how my heir situation's going. Your marriage to Irina is not what you had hoped. She seldom sleeps in your bed, and over breakfast you exchange only a few frosty words before she departs to the library. Last thing on your mind is procuring an heir, but the needs of the kingdom must prevail. Basically China, but united. Ooh. Congratulations are in order. The royal wedding was a magnificent affair, but something's still missing. You need an heir. You need someone young whose loyalty is assured. A child of your own would do the trick, even if they're a bastard, the youngest of your many cousins. Well, I mean, since she's being all frosty, I'm pretty sure I have a bastard child lying around somewhere. Church won't be happy, but they're just as keen to avoid a civil war as we are. They'll legitimize the bastard without much fuss. I will meet with the Archbishop tomorrow. Actually, yeah, you're right, we can see it on the map. Let me scroll up. So there's the Frozen Wastes up there. That's not Ashmead over there. This is the Ashmedian Empire to our south. And we're only seeing like a fraction of it. Well, but that will do it for this season. A count rides to a remote, unremarkable spot of moorland. Soon, another joins him. Draco.
The church is scrambling for power. The High Inquisitor is losing her grip on the populace.
Most pleasing. Then we can make our move unseen.
We must invite a demon to possess the king. The ancient books describe two demons, each attracted to different aspects of the human mind.
Alright, Counts. Who are you summoning? Ratchamasa, the mad tyrant, the cockroach queen, raise authority, or Murmurayak, the Duke of Greed, the face of all coins? You'd have to raise the treasury.
I don't see B working just because, you know, we're about to go in debt, possibly.
What is a scheme? A miserable pile of secrets. But enough talk. Have at you!
But I think A is the choice.
Alright. Would you like to place your vote in? Assume you get told that one warlord could probably beat us, so you team up with another. Oh, interesting.
There we go.
There they are. Yep, it's unanimous. The cockroach queen it is. Draco.
The Cockroach Queen was once a favored servant of the Ninth God, but when she betrayed him, he banished her to the deepest caves where she became a twisted agent of the Seventh. She desires to raise to power once more. She will be attracted to a powerful king whose authority is unquestioned.
For the final stage of their scheme, they need to raise authority to at least 7. Meanwhile, in the south, Grandee Random Chair 22 has invited their closest associates to their manor house for some wine and cheese and treason.
Yes, the best
palace-
flavor of cheese.
The Palace Watch won't accept our bribes. The treasury is practically overflowing. They don't need our money!
And right, that's Bubba. Just for the interest of you not having to talk to yourself, I'll be Bubba for this one. And I suppose they ran straight to the Spy Master to spoil the plot too. Most unfortunate. Is this the end?
Even St. Jovan waited 60 days and 60 nights before she smoked, or the Blasphemous King. We'll bide our time and strike again when the king least expects it.
Grandee's goal is to lower the treasury to 1,500 or less. Alright. You know what, for no reason in particular, I'm just gonna do that real quick. And, let's see. Who's... Just gonna... Don't worry, nothing's going on. Nothing at all. Nah, I don't want to do that. We'll do that. Even in game, I'm trying to bribe more people. Let's see. This seems the east is low on lumber. There's trouble at the border and a nuke. I'm curious about this baby. Why is this baby a thing? Who is reading for Random Chair?
Greetings, Your Holiness. Some fine news from my peasants in the south. A baby has been born on your birthday, bearing a birthmark in the shape of the number 9. A fantastic omen. Perhaps we should mark the occasion.
Being run oh so wonderfully. Perhaps we should at least listen to some of the king's proposal. Thank you, Random Chair. I appreciate the vote of confidence. But hey, what should we do about this baby? A, the king will send his blessings. That doesn't really have any effect, or it's not telling us what the effect would be. B, the king has no time for peasant brats. That'll lower stability. C, gift the parents a bounty of jewels and fine wine. That will lower the treasury, but raise stability. Or D, do we send the Inquisition to make sure the birthmark is real? Stability would go down, defiance would go up, and faith would go down. No one's really looking to lower faith. Let's
Anymore.
see. Anymore. You know what, just because it would be... No. I'm gonna just let this ride. See what you do.
I think A is the most harmless choice.
True. I was thinking...
Because it does literally nothing.
Yeah. That we're aware of. Unless they're being sneaky. We should become our own kingdom. No. Don't say that, Satania. It's fine. It's not I've forgotten about you. I just... You know, sometimes you have to take a little bit. But it's fine. Dang, I should have done the call for unity. I was thinking about putting it on C, but I'm like, no. Looks like we once again are blessed with a tie. Unless some more votes come in. I'll give it a few.
Where y'all at?
Yeah, we have a few people that I guess just either they're lurking or... I don't know. Oh, wait, we just got another one in. It's 4-3. Looks like we're going with the one that, Lord, remember your ambitious goal. I know, but... I debated doing it because you could have chosen A... Chaco?
Oh, praise be. Ninth, bless you, your highness. The common folk will appreciate your generosity. There is, another matter. They asked permission to name the baby after you. What do you think, your highness?
No, I'm the only Roger out here. There can only be one. I don't want to have a Highlander situation. No. The more Rogers, the better. Chaco?
Wonderful. I'll have my housekeeper give them the good news.
That's true, Bubba. There might be a bit of a delay, because there's always a delay with Twitch. Grandy Random Share 22 hurries away. Child of the South named for you. Who knows what sort of person this baby will become? Can only hope you're around to see it. Well, we got trouble at the border. Guess we're building a wall or something. Ah, yes. Grandy Jiv Kiz Diffs. Whew, that's a mouthful.
Your Majesty, I simply must lodge a formal complaint. These Ashbean Lackwoods that you've invited to our lands are ruining everything. They refuse to work on Wednesdays, and their food is awful, and they're taking jobs away from our knaves. From us, from our citizens, I mean.
Well, you know what? This seems like something that should be put up to the council, honestly.
But if we must.
Alright, council, what do we do? Should we do nothing, which will lower authority, raise defiance, and raise trade? Do we close the border to non-essential Ashmidian travelers? This will raise authority, raise defiance, but lower trade. Or do we just send Grandy Kiss Diffs to Ashmead so he can better understand the culture? This will cost us 500 gold from the treasury, but raise wealth? I like A. Oh wait, no. Call for unity. If more than 50% of the nobles vote for any one option, stability goes up. I was conflating it with another thing. Anyway, begin the vote. See, I like too. Like, listen, he's got a problem with their culture, so we'll send him to the culture so he can learn more about it and probably better himself. Further south seems fitting. Alright. So, we've got votes all across the board. We've got some in
Any
A,
partition or grantee, you might want to vote C.
It's true. It's interesting. Looks like we have Grandies and Satania going for nothing, which lowers authority. We'll raise
Random chair. It's not bad.
Yeah, because the Grandies and the Patricians are trying to lower the treasury, remember? Oh, looks like we have an even split, though. C is bad, not on paper, but my 100 hours says it's bad. I see. Well, if you feel that impassioned about it, we can always do nothing.
Ignore me at your peril, you'll see we have borders for a reason.
The kingdom's relationship with Ashmead remains unchanged, and travelers continue to visit freely. Despite Grandee Diff's complaints, foreign merchants continue to bring vital trade to the region. Well, authority's gone down, but hey, our defiance has gone up in the south. That's not great, but look at your trade! You can put a border around his house. You could, random chair. That would be funny. What's this about a lumber shortage? Lord Patrician Diane Dragons. Who would like to read for her? Him, excuse me. Dane.
Your August Majesty, will you tell these superstitious counts to get over themselves and let us harvest the trees? We need the wood for our craftspeople.
Chaco.
I've told you 1,000 times, Lord Patrician, that forest is thoroughly haunted. You'll damn us all if you go logging there.
Yeah, Gnosis agrees with you 100%. Don't chop those trees.
How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
Really? Alright.
But you sold your lodging contract, and said contract has no exclusions for hunting.
Interesting. Daluna?
Your August Majesty, the counts gotta be allowed to wiggle out of their commitments.
Alright, Council, what do we do here? The Patricians have a contract to Mako logging. That is a 30% chance of success. Do we let them harvest the lumber, but share the proceeds with the Count? That's 30% chance. Do we turn the forest into a joint coastal eastern hunting reserve? That'll raise defiance and lower authority. Or D, do we fence off the area to make sure no one goes near it? That is a coin flip. You know what? I think, random chair and anyone else interested in 500 gold, we should just fence the area off. It's clearly haunted. Just throwing that out there. We don't want people going into a haunted woods. Please, send your votes.
I also like D. It's got the best percentage chance out of everything.
Yeah. That's why I picked it. Hey, there's still 10 seconds up, and look at that number go up.
I'm gonna say, like, this is between them and Chaco's people. Like, I'm not a part of this. Like, I don't want to go into the scary woods.
It's fair. Being paid for what I want. Spoken like a true patrician, indeed. All right, we're gonna fence it off, and no one goes near it.
But my lumber, I paid for that!
Give it a rest, won't you? The council has spoken, and it's for your own good.
When it's clear the council won't reconsider its position, Lord Patrician Dion Dragon slinks back to the coast. The haunted forest falls back into obscurity and legend. Huh. I guess you have quite the delay then, Legacy. Maybe I should give it like a bit more time in between.
Yeah, that'd probably be for the best.
Because, like, I can't change the amount of time the vote takes, but I can, like, hold it on 0 for a while. Wow, there's a lot going on the coast.
Also, it went from winter 686 to spring 969.
Nice.
I'm like, oh my god, it did that.
Oh my god, there's a Kraken.
Kraken!
A real life, honest to knife Kraken! Just outside my harbor with the western shore!
We should send our navy to subdue the beast at once! A Kraken has every advantage in a sea battle, Your Majesty. Perhaps a lighter touch is preferable. It is said Kraken can be appeased by an offering of living creatures. Heretical nonsense! You cannot be considering this, Your Majesty. Alright, Council, we have to decide. Do we send in the Patricians' Navy? All one of them. Good old Steve, doing his best, with a 0% chance success. Do we appease the Kraken with a sacrifice, which has a 100% chance success? Or do we just let the Kraken be? Kick that can right down the road and hope things work out. A little better than a coin flip. Let's find out how that goes. Bro, wait, is this the Odyssey game? Damn, you might be right.
Hey, if it has a 100% chance of success.
Yeah, why not?
Blood for the blood god.
Man, I can't believe you don't want to send your one guy to fight a Kraken. Don't you have any faith in your one guy military legacy?
No!
You don't know. For all you know, that one guy is Kratos.
Look, Your Majesty, Steve only got the position because he's my son!
Yeah. And no veto. Alright, so far it's looking like we got a unanimous one. See, Broaden's here. He can solo the Kraken.
Also, I didn't say that as Daluna, I said it as the one noble that's like, it's outside my door!
Yeah. Dozens of goats and cows are rounded up and carted off to Lord Patrician Legacy 0117's hometown, where they're dumped unceremoniously into the water near his estate. To the church's great anger, the bizarre plan works. The Kraken presumably eats its fill and disappears back into the depths. Another job well done.
Which, by the way, that my Childa personality character release, she would totally try to solo a Kraken by herself.
Oh, 100%. As far as I'm not turned into a wizard for this. No, it's fine, Doc. We don't need to worry about wizards. The guy in our military is literally the customs agent. I believe it.
I feel that Elise and Marika definitely could solo a Kraken.
Lord Patrician Tolbatone. Who wants to read? Or who did?
I wanted to speak to you about a delicate matter, Your Most August Majesty. It concerns the silver trade.
I'm getting the weirdest sense of deja vu. Ah, yes.
So you could actually be like, I'm very familiar with it.
Yeah, I was about to click that. Ah, yes, I'm very familiar with it.
Then you understand our position. You see, the vast and empty East has always been known for its silver. You've literally, if you've seen it literally any count, you know what I mean. But the Grandies also have a real taste for the stuff. Unfortunately, they don't have native reserves, so they're always looking to buy from the counts. Most of it goes into the holy chalices and ornamental swords and other such finery.
I said I was familiar. You don't have to explain.
Traditionally, we patricians are facilitated trade, making sure that it's a fair deal when reached on both sides. But now the Grannies buy from the counts directly. They're cutting us out of the deal. You can't get away with it.
Didn't my father put it under the crown? I mean, it just sounds like clever business.
I think you should just do the, nope, I don't think I will.
Actually, yeah, you know what? I don't think I will. I'm pretty sure this situation has already been resolved, I'm afraid.
Actually, a waste of time.
You allow the regions to do business as they like. This means the patrician will lose a grip on their monopoly, of course, but that's of no concern to you. Some patricians lost their wealth. Trade is now dominant in the south. Trade is wealthy in the east, but unfortunately the coast is struggling with their trade. Now, what's this about a dead person? Deceased? Okay, again, I'm getting the weirdest sense of deja vu. We got both of these last game, I'm pretty sure.
This game does like to recycle things.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, I know there's a lot of events in this game. Well, we're not, well, it's a different person, so the elderly Lady Patrician Demetria, a cousin many times removed of Lord Patrician Dion Dragons, died in her sleep last week. She was nearly 90, would you believe? A better end than most of us get. Indeed, Your Majesty, she stayed at home on the coast most of the time, enjoying herself. But she could have spent more time on her account. She died without a will, and the nobles are now scrambling for her estate.
Lady Partician Demetria was my relative. I wrote to her at least once a year. But of course the estate should be mine.
Of course, of course. Who's reading? I always forget who's reading for Random Chair.
My late great-grandfather used to play backgammon with her. He swore she intended to leave it to our family.
Deal's a deal. Said to hand it to us. I don't know. This is pretty shaky, Random Chair.
By the sea, what a pitiful claim.
Alright, nobles, we're going to leave this to a vote, of course. We could give the estate to Lord Patrician Deon Dragons, as it was their relative. We could give it to Random Chair, who, I mean, has a claim, for sure. We could redistribute the estate to the coastal peasants. This will increase their trade, but will raise defiance as well. Or do we claim the estate for the treasury, give ourselves 1,000 gold for the king? Quite the conundrum. Quite the conundrum indeed. Let's start the vote, shall we?
Once again, give it to the actual relative.
The fair stance to have. But Gnosis says we should maybe redistribute the wealth, and Random Chair, of course, wants to give it to themselves. Understandable vote. I get it. Bubba says we should let the king have it, in which, of course, I'm agree. We have 1 vote on every up, and 2 to give it to Dan Dragons, 2 to give it to Random Chair. It is a deadlock right now. That's 4, 5, 6. So that will go to the king unless another vote comes in. Legacy, where will you be putting your vote? Like you said, if you vote for C, that gives us a 3-way tie if you want to up the trade. We got ourselves a 3-way tie, ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between or outside of. Alright, so do I give it to the person? Do I give it to Random Chair? That's true. Random Chair has been loyal to me.
The peasants, you know what, the peasants, like, it'd be fun to just give it to the peasants. I mean, they...
I'm torn. Listen, happy peasants don't revolt is a fair stance to have.
I hold no horse in this race.
Don't worry, Random Chair. I will make it up to you. coastal and southern nobles watch in outrage as the peasants occupy the estate and move into the manor house. Of course, this rages the coast to muteness, and the south is aloof. Using the Lady Patrician Demetria's money, the peasants set up a marketplace on her land. It turns out to be a huge success, with the merchants flocking to the place in crowds, and now their trade is up to 5. Alright, it's time to end the season. Let's see where we're at. The coast are in their final steps. They still have to get authority up to 7. We have the Grandees, who are still on their second phase. They need to lower our treasury to 1,500. And unfortunately, the patricians are struggling pretty hard because they also need to lower the treasury to 1,500. Your heir, the printing press. What is that? Hordling attack? I'm sorry, we need to worry about this attack? Excuse me?
Your Highness, I'm ruined. Hordlings have occupied my vineyard and driven my staff away.
What's a hordling? Grubby little creatures, like fat green babies with claws. Hard to kill. Fire's the only way to get rid of them permanently.
Whatever you do, we should do it soon. They're eating all of my grapes.
I will assemble the council.
I used the juice from the grapes to dye my carpets.
Oh no.
Oh god, not that shit again.
That's a different dynasty entirely. What are you talking about?
9th, bless you, Your Highness.
Alright, so what do? Do we burn the vineyard with the hordlings inside? This will lower trade, lower farming, raise defiance. B, do we strong-arm the other grandees into sending military help? This will raise wealth and defiance. Or C, do we hire adventurers from the guilds to investigate? That's a bit of a hefty tag, but it would be a pretty good idea, I feel. Let's start the vote. I mean, C would probably be good for the patricians and the grandees, honestly. Oh god, wow, everyone is unanimous in wanting adventurers.
This helps. Again, I have no horse in this race because it helps me. This does not help us at all.
Adventure!
Alright, it seems like we have a unanimous decision here.
Jobs!
Adventure! You dip into the treasury to hire a stern-faced adventurer from the guild. Stability has now gone up to 10 thanks to the unity vote, and we're down to 2,150 in the treasury.
Hello, Cryptic.
Hey,
Hello.
Cryptic.
I was doing some 2K chicanery.
No worries. Feel free to join in chat. We're playing King of the Castle. I don't know if you're familiar.
I do not. All I know is that I am the king of the castle.
Nah, I'm actually the king. However, you could be a
The king is
noble.
currently Roger II.
Indeed. If you
The
go,
king is dead. Long live the king.
but if you'd like to join, just go to the Twitch channel, type in !join and your preferred pronouns, and it'll assign you into a random country, and you'll work towards that country's goals to depose me. Never fear, Your Majesty, I can drive them out without collateral damage. Alright, we have an adventurer working on that hordling problem. How's my heir coming along? Your quest for an heir is finally complete. You stand before the council holding a small child in your arms. Should I die, I ask that my crown be passed to... The council hall is filled with nervous silence. My legitimized, natural-born son. The assembled nobles break into polite applause. By the designation of an heir, you've cemented the stability of the kingdom. Though the common folk may lose some faith in the church, seeing the king's extramarital adventures being forgiven so easily. Hey, and there's Cryptic! I am also streaming in the Discord, so you should be able to read your lines from there, so you don't have to worry about the delay.
Perfect. Your esteemed highness, may I be the first to congratulate you on legitimizing your son. What is his name?
We're very creative in this country. Roger the Third.
Marvelous, your esteemed highness. I'm sure little Roger the Third will grow up to be a chip off the old block.
I'm sure he will. I'm sure he will. Congratulations on finding an heir. Now you just need to fulfill your ambition to win the game. Expect a visit from the Spy Master. Soon. The last king was a saint, and this king... Look, my father was a saint. I am a man of the people, trying to keep peace in our country.
Yes, Legacy. I am an amateur voice actor, so, like, this is a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, I love this game for that reason.
Can't remember which one was this one.
Yeah, was it me or Chaco? I forget.
It was me. Your Grace.
It was me all along,
the
Austin.
Beast has come up with some sort of printing contraption. Instead of relying on the painstaking effort of scribes, it produces 100 copies of text an hour.
How remarkable!
Yes, Your Highness. Isn't technology wonderful?
Cryptic?
Don't you see how dangerous this is? Books should stay in churches and universities, or else commoners will start getting ideas!
Oh god, ideas! Alright, Council, what are we gonna do? Do we allow the printing press to be used by the masses? This will raise and lower defiance accordingly. Trade will go up, stability goes down, and authority will go down. B, do we let the church use the printing press? That's a coin flip of success. Or C, do we only let universities use it? This will raise stability, raise trade, raise farming, but lower our authority even further. Or D, do we just forbid use of the printing press altogether? Too much danger. That is a 25% chance of success. Cryptic, since you are coming in for the first time, it'll give you the prompt on there, but when I start the vote, if you hit exclamation point vote space and then the letter you're voting for, that will put your vote on one of these. So I'm gonna, for no reason in particular, university, or let's see, that's a lot of benefits we would get. Farming is pretty good right now. Trade is also pretty good. If you want 500 gold for your personal wealth, you could vote for B. Just throwing that out there. Let the voting begin!
Engage democracy. Praise our in Jesus. Let the coin flip decide our fate.
Listen, Random Chair, I did want to do C originally, but then B was there with a coin flip of success, and I figured I'd give it to the coin flip. Right, and we'll hold out just a little bit longer before the I hit continue, so Legacy can get his vote in as well. Legacy voted for C. We're closed. Looks like the church will get to use the printing press. It will...
As it should be.
Of course, of course. It will be my pleasure to take stewardship of this radical new invention. Over the next few months, the church pumps out thousands of new copies of the Ninth God's holy book. Soon, every commoner owns one, even those who can't read. Oh, no, it failed!
It's the Bible. You get points for trying.
We flipped and we failed. We got tails. Unfortunately, the church also prints countless pamphlets criticizing your rule and calling you a godless simpleton. You know, I gave you this thing once, and you had to go and ruin it for everyone, church. How could you? Well,
Cries' authority gets lower and lower.
stability has gone down to 9, authority is down to 3, the faith has gone to 7 for the coast, 4 for the east, and 9 for the south.
Respect my authority!
Alright, and that will end our season. Well, ladies, gentlemen, everyone in between or outside of, time for another auction.
I was gonna ask if after this we could call it because I need to go to bed. So.
Oh, yeah, sure, it has been going on for a while. Cryptic just popped in, but, sorry about that.
Nah, it's all good. I just wanted to hang out with my buddies.
No worries. And I'm absolutely glad you popped in. I wish we could have had you stay for a little bit longer, but,
I mean, by all means, if you guys don't mind me just bailing out, I could, or you guys can keep going.
I mean, I also have things tomorrow. I have orientation for my new job, so...
Let's freaking go!
Yeah, I'm working at Target.
Yep.
Part-time early morning unloader, which, I hate early mornings, but it's a job.
yeah. Alright, well, yeah, we'll do our auction, and then we'll, end in the next season. So, Cryptic, for you, basically how this works is you have some wealth, as you can see on the screen over here. You have 1,500. You do exclamation point fund, whatever building you want to build in whatever country, the character A, B through F, and then Y is the amount of money you would put in. For everyone, the library and the coast will raise our stability back up to 10. The monument will raise authority, which is definitely what the people in the coast, people in the east want. If we make a deer park, that will lower farming in the Grandies, or we could lower their military in the Grandies with a stadium. Patricians could get more faith if they build a cathedral, or more trade if they build the Grand Bazaar. But without further ado, let's start the auction. Satania and Legacy, you might need to redo yours because I haven't started the auction yet. Now that it is started, you should be able to put in your funding.
Look, I've got a lot of money.
Oh my god, you do. You and Bubba have, you're flush with cash.
Oh, wait, did it not? Oh, it did. Wait, no, it didn't go
No, it
through.
didn't.
We voted.
Because it's a capital letter, maybe? Alright, we have the bazaar going up for the patricians, it seems. And of course, we're having the monument go for raising authority. There's no one who's going to beat that 4,000. But if we can get a bunch of people working together, we could possibly get something else. But I think we're pretty solidly set on B and F at this time, with only 10 seconds left.
I shall save my money!
Valid. Very. Alright, time is up. It looks like we close out our auction with a new monument for the Counts, raising authority to a 4, and the Bazaar for getting the Patricians up their trade from its 5 to a 6, I believe. And that brings us to our last 3 events, I believe, but
Heretical discovery, interesting.
But this is where we're going to end our session off for the night. Let's start going around, have everyone reintroduce themselves, I suppose. Let's start with the newcomer, Cryptic. What are you doing? What do you tell these lovely people what you do?
Yes, I am Cryptic_Cyachin. You can find me at twitch.tv/Cryptic_Cyachin, where I do the wrestling things.
All right, and let us move on to Daluna. What do you have going on?
Hello, you can find me on Twitter at Daluna1338. You can find me on Twitch, YouTube, and occasionally, I'm trying to remember that site exists, Blue Sky at Daluna13. Let's see, tomorrow, most likely nothing because it's Wednesday. I'm not on anything on Wednesdays, but Thursday, you'll find me again here on Draco's channel, which, Draco, I forgot to say this earlier, congratulations on beating Dream Drop Distance.
Yeah.
That, I saw the final fight and saw how long it took you to do it after I left.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid to say that I expected that. But it is finally time. After months of doing this, including what, a year, like almost half a year break,
Yeah, I think so.
we are finally going to get to Kingdom Hearts 3. But what will await us? Will I utterly like curse out the mountain in a certain world?
Like this.
We shall see. Let's see if this series can end on a high note, especially now that the DLC is done.
Hell yeah. I was wondering if we would beat Kingdom Hearts 4, but I was pretty sure we were going to beat Kingdom Hearts 4. In whether it was going to come out or we were going to finish playing through every single Kingdom Hearts game.
I wonder if it will happen end first. Will we get our playthrough done, or will there be a trailer? I'm just wanting a trailer.
Yeah, that's probably more believable, honestly.
Because
sorry, go ahead.
If I'm doing my my math correctly, by the time we finish, it should be about June. And what used to happen around June?
That's a good point, actually. Yeah, they announced. Did they announce 3? Was it?
They announced 3 at E3 2013.
And now we have Summer Games Fest.
True.
Yep. I still remember that. God, do you remember, like, that original trailer? Like, you look at it now, and like, that's a completely different game.
Kick out at 2 though.
Those Death's Soul from.
But anyway,
hell
the
there.
last thing I'm gonna announce is, unfortunately, we weren't able to do Power to Cyber Strike, me, Chaco, and Cryptic here earlier because of personal issues with the DM. But hopefully next week, next Tuesday to be precise, we'll actually have a session.
Hell yeah. And speaking of that, Chaka, what do you have going on?
Hello, you can find me on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and Blue Sky, Chocolate Zombie 101. You find me here every other. You can find me, Daluna, and Draco _ Magnius next week and every other Tuesday at 9 o'clock Eastern Time on twitch.tv/burnoutfun for Face of Our Lives, our campaign through the Wild Beyond the Witchlight. You can also find myself and Daluna and Cryptic here earlier in the days every Tuesday, schedule permitting, for Power to Cyber Strike, where I play our Red Ranger, Marika. Aside from that, streams have been kind of inconsistent. I haven't really done that a whole lot. Just keep tuned to my socials to see when I decide to do it next.
All right. And, of course, you've already found me here. I stream Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Fridays. Monday, we have just finished off CrossCode's main story, but we still have to go through the DLC, A New Home, to see what Leia and her friends are getting up into. We'll have to see what happened after we saved all the Evatars. Tuesdays, like Chaco and Daluna have mentioned, you can catch us, as well as our wonderful DM Milla Ninja, Royal Hoshi, Caitlin C37, Burnout Vaughn over at Burnout Vaughn's channel as we go through Wild Beyond the Witchlight. Our heroes have just gotten to the big top and there's a big show that's going to happen. What will we find out? You'll have to tune in to find out. Wednesdays, you can catch me here for more of the Legend of Zelda Wind Waker HD. We just got ourselves to the, I forget the name, but it's the forest with the Deku tree. So we're going to see if we can get the pearl from him, see what goes on with that. Thursdays, you can catch me and Daluna here as we begin Kingdom Hearts 3. Finally nearing the end of our journey in the Xehanort saga. What wacky shenanigans will Sora and the gang get into? You'll have to tune in and find out. And last, but certainly not least, on Friday, you can catch myself, Royal Hoshi, yelling at me, Broad and Rod, Onyx Locket, both of whom who were here a little earlier, and Lost Knights, as they go through Odyssey, a Rhapsody of Fire. Our heroes have made it to Apocalypsis. 4 Nether Titans go throughout the lands, destroying everything in their wake. The Kraken, the Tarask, the Behemoth, and the Nether Dragon? Can our heroes find out what their weaknesses are and take them down? Or is the land of Thylea doomed? You'll have to tune in to find out. But with all of that said and done, let's find someone to raid. There is a person I would like to raid. They raided me a while back, and I have not been able to return the favor. And now seems like a good opportunity for me to do so. One Lucille Starlight. New
I was
person.
gonna say I posted some suggestions in the general chat, but it's up to you.
Yeah. Like, they raided me a while back, and I really wanted to